Hey guys, my name's Kjwippy, and you might recognize me from doing all of these various FNAF Minecraft build videos. I've had a lot of people ask me to maybe put all of the FNAF builds that I've done into one big video, and since I'm done doing all of them and I'm not making any more, I figured, why not listen to them? I'll listen to the general public. A lot of people are asking me to put them all into one big video, so here is every single Minecraft FNAF build that I have done in one big video. I don't know how long it's going to be. I haven't actually put it together yet in me recording this right now, so who knows? But anyway, without further ado, I'll stop wasting your time. Here you go. If you're anything like me growing up, you tried to build your own Five Nights at Freddy's style pizzeria in Minecraft. Now, of course, back then mods weren't as much of a thing, and for me, I didn't even have mods at all because I played on the Xbox 360, so I had to go with the base game stuff. But today, I'm going to be building my very own Five Nights at Freddy's style pizzeria here in Minecraft. The list of mods is in the description, but you can also just find the pack in CurseForge by searching for the term that is listed in the description as well. So feel free to do that, and if you want to follow along with the build, go ahead. So first things first, we need a block palette of what the basic interior is going to look like. So first up, in this mod, we have a bunch of different sets of blocks, and the first mod has these nicely patterned checkered floor here, which got some kind of detailing in it. Nothing too fancy, but nothing too simple, which is nice. The walls are a bit more simplistic in terms of texture. There is a little bit of almost like a wallpaper pattern on it, and it's got a nice like counter wall here with more of a checkered pattern on the base and then more of the darker up top here. The second grouping here is a bit more textured, and actually I think I like this one the most out of the three in terms of the floor, at least, because it does look a bit more like a grittier floor. It's not super horribly detailed like the first one, but it does give it a bit more of a dull texture to it, as this one feels a bit more brighter and a bit too luminant. However, the walls feel like they have too much texture and it looks too rocky. Especially this lower texture here, which, don't get me wrong, I think the blend into the lighter wall is really great here, but I don't know how I feel about this darker texture here, so I would have to find a way to work around that somehow. There is also this kind of complementary wall here as well, which does have the smaller checkers, but it does also still have that kind of rocky texture to the wall, so I don't really know if I'm going to go with that wall texture. Finally, we have this third pack here, which actually the walls are a bit shorter because there's only two blocks. There's no in-between block for the different walls here. But the floor texture, I don't think I'm going to go with at all because it feels too uniform. You know, that one feels relatively spontaneous enough where it doesn't feel like everything's super uniform, whereas this one feels like it's just too much of the same thing. This one, with the walls, however, I really like these textured walls and how it kind of shows the grit in the the stains and stuff against these baseboards and all that such. Like it's a really nice texture, and I will say that these wall tiles here are pretty nice as well. So I think I'm gonna have to figure out what I want to do with that first. Yeah, I think this is the setup I'm gonna go with. So we got these walls here, and then those floor tiles there. I think that's a really nice combination, and it doesn't conflict really too much with the checkerboard on the wall with the checkers on the floor, so I think that would be great. Now comes the part of laying out where everything in the restaurant is going to be. And I think the first place I'm going to start out with is the main office for the security guard. Actually, I want to make it centered a bit more. There we go, that's centered, and we'll have the door right there. These doors will be right there. Next up, we'll be using this white blue wool here to get ourselves the outer wall, or at least these like kind of the hallways and such, to get ourselves an idea of where that all is going to be. This purple outline here is going to be a supply closet that's off to the side here, similar to Five Nights at Freddy's 1, where it has that supply closet off to the left of the office. This orange square here is actually going to be the prize counter, similar to how it is in the Five Nights at Freddy's VR game, Help Wanted, where the prize counter is actually on the opposite end of where the security office is in that hallway. As the wall comes out along this area towards where Foxy's Cove is actually about to be, I'm actually going to be rearranging where some of the stuff is here in the pizzeria. So give me a moment here, and I'll get a basic layout of the rest of the area set up, and we'll see where we go from there. Alright, so now we finally have a full layout of what I want this place to look like. Now you'll notice that it looks very similar to the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 location, and that's because it really is. However, I did rearrange a few things, so let me go ahead and let you guys know where everything is. So like I said before, the red box here is going to be the security office. It's where we're going to be spending most of our time as the employee here. The brown box there is going to be where the kitchen is, and the orange box is going to be where the price counter is. Now that cyan box down at the bottom is going to be the cold storage for the kitchen. That purple box, like I mentioned before, is a small supply closet off to the side. The lime green box is actually going to be where the arcade is. The pink box is Foxy's Cove. The yellow box is going to be the main stage where our 3 main animatronics are going to be. The dark blue box is going to be the parts and service room, and that little room next to it is going to be the technician's office. The dark green rooms are actually going to be the bathrooms, and then that magenta square up at the top left is going to be the entrance and the lobby. Now, of course, this doesn't have to be 100% the size. I can adjust things however I need them to be, but I think the first thing I need to do right now is actually get the flooring in. So let's go ahead and do that, and yeah. Just like that, all of our floors are filled out. Now it's time to get the walls set up. What? You mean tell me that those can extend? What? That's weird. It's cool though, but weird. For the technician's office, I actually wanted to have a grodier look for the area, just because it'll probably be less maintained. You know, he's more focused on fixing up the actual animatronics rather than actually maintaining his office. So I feel like it would be really interesting to have like the FNAF 3 kind of tile work there, and using this kind of rockier texture from the other wall that I was considering, I think fits pretty well with this. The tiles do actually match up in terms of size. Unfortunately, the borders aren't the same size, but that's not a huge issue. But yeah, no, I think this is a really nice choice for that kind of grodier thing. And obviously there will be a different wall here for the back of the stage, so it'll separate that off, and this won't actually be seen from the interior at all, except for inside the office. With that, the walls are fully completed, and now it's time to get started on all of the decorating. Whoops, forgot a spot there. Okay, now everything is completed. So now we get started. So the first thing I'm gonna actually decorate here is the prize counter, and what I want to use for that is these quartz stairs, because it's got a nice tiled pattern to it, but it does feel like more of a countertop, so that works really well with that. So let's get ourselves some FNAF decorations. And actually, one of the cool things about this mod that I'm using is it uses different furniture mods that I can have different shelves and such. So I'm going to use these spruce shelves to kind of prop some stuff up, and then in between those I can put these. Freddy, Bonnie, Chica. We could have some stuff on the floor here behind it. We can get stuff like the puppet, and we can get like some different t-shirts, hang them up along the walls. Get some different Faz coins, you know, stacks of Faz coins and all that stuff as your price to get them all. There we go. There we are. Prize counter is now completed with a bunch of plushies, t-shirts, Faz coins, and of course the basketball from Help Wanted, because who could forget that? Next up here is going to be our main stage room, and I actually do have an idea of what I want to do for that as well. So I didn't realize that there are actually 2 different tables that I could use. I think I like the polka dotted one a little bit more. It's a little less harsh on the eyes. So let's go ahead and get some of these out here. Make sure that they're spaced out enough to where I can use some chairs to have everybody have a seat. So another thing that I did in a previous world where I was kind of messing around with these different mods was I actually had these little table booth sort of things set up along here. So that way people can come and sit down in these instead. If they don't want to have one of these main party tables or whatever, we can have a few of these scattered around everywhere as well. And that kind of gives it a bit more of a lively feel. And that's also for like if there's an older crowd that wants to come in, you know, not necessarily kids who are part of a actual party. You can still come in and have a seat that's not like the center of attention. Now that we've got a few more of those tables and booths scattered around, it's now time to start working on the main stage. With that, the main stage is now done with the curtain that is pulled back currently on its chain, and that gives us room to place the 3 animatronics. We also have Foxy's stage finished up here too, so now it's just a matter of getting all the animatronics actually in. There's Freddy, there's Bonnie. I didn't realize how tall these guys are, geez. So unfortunately, these are actually super short, so I might actually have to bump this up by 1, which means that I'll have to extend the actual roof of this area soon as well, which, you know what? That's fine. There we go, that's much better. So now that I've actually extended the wall up by 1 in this room, only, I feel like that would be most fitting to have this area as the highest roof, as that is the main attraction of the actual restaurant. Now that we've done that, we can actually focus more on decorating. And of course, next up was the bathrooms, and this was a pretty simple design, as it's just got a few sinks here for washing up. It's got some toilets, of course, and toilet paper. The stalls are a bit clunky. They're a little bit thicker than I would have liked them to be, but they do provide a good amount of privacy as we walk in here. You know, obviously you walk in, you don't want to see someone doing whatever they're doing in here, so it does block things off pretty well. And of course, you can go in, you can open it up, have a seat, do your thing. I realized I forgot to actually put these trapdoors on the bottoms of these lights, but these are actually redstone activated glass blocks, which actually give off light. So we're using these instead of redstone lamps because it feels a lot more cleaner, a lot more industrial in terms of the modern technology here of the pizzeria. So it gives it a lot more of a clean look, in a bit of a comparison to the grittier walls. So I don't know, I kind of like it. It looks good. After the bathrooms, we headed over here to the parts and service room, where we have created this kind of creepy looking room here with all these heads looking around and the endoskeleton, of course, sitting on the table. Classic design here. And of course, we've got a bunch of other things laying around too, some pipes, some shelves, a few lockers where you can actually store some things if you need to, and also some extra monitors just in case some of the display screens break. This is a really fun room, and of course, I did the same thing with the roof and the lighting as well. Of course, there's only one light in here, which gives it a bit more of a dim outlook, and I had to actually extend the wall around a little bit more outside the top here, because this wall is extended up here. The rest of these had to be as well, or else it would have looked kind of out of place from the inside here. Of course, I also have the technician's office done as well, and this is actually styled a bit more off of the FNAF 3 location, where it's got the desk with the little bobbleheads and such on it, and it's got the paper pals on the walls, some drawings and fun stuff like that, kind of just memorabilia around the room. Kind of just some fun stuff there, some filing cabinets, of course. That's a lot of storage, wow. But yeah, that's going to mark this off of our checklist as well. Next up, we have the kitchen, and this is a pretty simple area. It's not got too much going on really at the moment. There's just a couple of ovens, a few shelves and cabinets, and of course the dishwashing area, storage for other stuff as well. Yeah, pretty simplistic area, nothing too fancy going on here, as well as a notice board as well for any of the chefs and stuff to come in. You know, they gotta know different things going on. And then of course the cold storage as well. Kind of boring, but it's got this dim light in here, similar to most cold storage places in actual restaurants. So yeah. And of course, one of my favorite rooms to work on, the security office. We've got a full-on FNAF 1 setup going on right here with the lockers behind us, the desk with the moving fan, of course, the Celebrate poster, a bunch of drawings, and some monitors, and of course, the door functionality and the light functionality. So this is pretty cool, and of course, you can try to figure out how to hook this up to some kind of redstone generator if you so wish. I'm not going to for the sake of this video. This is just a quick reminder, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, because it's free, and it helps the channel out, and it also shows that you guys enjoy what I'm making and I can keep making more of it. Thank you. Next up, we have the arcade, which is really simple, just a few arcade machines dotted here and there, and of course we put our good old balloon boy here who is smiling at me really creepily. I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, we've got just a few arcade machines here and there. There's a claw machine, of course, some chairs for if parents want to sit and wait for their kids to finish their game. But yeah, arcade is finished, and actually, with the windows here, I went ahead and just had some black glass, and there's some window blinds in one of the mod packs here, which you can use to actually, you can block out all outside light with that. It's pretty cool. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave them like this because it looks like that they've been drawn up a little bit by the drawstring, which is really nice. And here we are with the main entrance. Obviously, things here are a bit more simplistic because there's not really too much to look forward to at an entrance. We have the big old Celebrate poster back here, which actually has the toy animatronics, funny enough, even though we don't actually have them here in the location. That's fine, probably. But yes, here we're featuring the desk from actually FNAF 2. Nice little chair here for the receptionist for the hostess to chill out at, get everyone's name down for the party or whatever, and then be able to go seat people where they need to be. For parties who are waiting, they can have a seat in these sofas here. And yeah, we're gonna worry about getting the actual doorway here figured out a little bit here, just because I don't want to worry about that until we actually start doing the exterior. But yeah, pretty simplistic in here, nothing too special, except for the giant plants, but that's pretty cool. Finally, we have the supply closet here, which once again is not anything super special. We've got like an extra speaker, extra boxes and stuff like that kind of laying around, but nothing super special going on in here. And with that, our pizzeria is 100% completed, at least in terms of basic structure of each room. So now I'm going to go around with a bunch of posters, pizzas, all that kind of stuff, and make sure that this place is looking 100% like a Freddy Fazbear's masterpiece. So I'll be right back and we'll see how that goes. I'm actually going to keep you guys from actually seeing the interior just yet, because I want to surprise you all. I think it came out really well, and I want you guys to see what I've come up with. But now it's time to get the exterior done for this build, so let's go ahead and make ourselves the outside of the pizzeria. Here we are at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I wanted to go with more of a simplistic kind of 80s style pizzeria design, so it's very, very, very simplistic. Got these wooden planks and the bricks here. The bricks with the pizzeria pattern really helps pull this all together here. But let's just go inside and take a look at what's going on. So I've already showed you guys this interior of this room here. You come in for this area, you get your party checked in, and then they bring you in to the main party room. I'm very happy with how this has turned out. It feels a lot like the spontaneity of the actual games, which is really cool. We've got the main animatronics right here on stage, ready to perform, and we've got a bunch of posters, kids' drawings, and stuff like that all around the place here as well. We got the paper pals scattered everywhere. We've got pizza boxes and presents and plushies and all kinds of stuff going on over here. We've got the out of order sign over here for Foxy, because man's not looking all up to standard here. And over here we have the arcade where Balloon Boy's hanging out. He's just chilling. We've got some fun games over here, a claw machine, a bunch of cool stuff going on over here. Next up at the prize counter, we have a bunch of different prizes and such that you can win based off of how many tickets you get at the games. There's presents laying around here with a bunch of mystery items. There's basketballs and plushies and t-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff over here. Over here in the kitchen, we have the oven set up. We have a bunch of different counter spaces and drawers and cabinets, fridges and sinks and plates and cups and bunch of crates and all that. And then we have here the cold storage as well, which is really awesome. Next up is the bathroom area, which is complete with a bunch of sinks, toilets, toilet paper, and of course privacy stalls for those who do not want to be interrupted while doing their business, which I don't blame them. And we've also got a mirror going on here, although actually if you pay close attention, it's actually just glass that's facing into the other one, but it's simulating a mirror, so it's fine. Of course, we also have the parts and service area, which has a bunch of different animatronic parts. Did you just move, or am I crazy? Yeah, I'm crazy. But there's a bunch of lockers and pipes and shelves and all that stuff going on in here, just kind of showing the extra storage and kind of, clutteredness of this room. And then of course we also have the technician's office, which actually was never part of the original location, but for sake of logic, there's got to be someone who tends to this kind of thing, and this is probably where he would hang out. So it's a bit more run down, but bit more gross in here. But nothing too shabby. And then of course we have the hallways heading up towards the security office. These have a lot more of the wires and posters and stuff hanging out, really emphasizing that style from the first game. And of course we've got things like kids' drawings and of course the Freddy poster as well off in the distance there. And then we have the supply closet as well, which has got some extra stuff going on in here, some boxes, whatever these things are, and then some speakers and all that stuff. Really nice stuff with this simple lighting as well. The simple lighting is really nice for this kind of room because it gives off more of an eerie kind of feel. And then of course the security office, where we can sit down, have a seat, close the doors, and then we can pull out our trusty camera monitor and take a look at the different cameras in the location. This is a really cool feature that I found, and I'm super happy that it's a thing. because it gives you that much more of immersion inside the pizzeria, and you're able to just look around wherever. It's really cool. Hey, look, there's me way over there. That's me. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is a lot different than what I've done before in the past. Also, I realized I don't have a neck. It's just completely empty there. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. It's free and it always helps me out, and it makes me smile to see somebody enjoyed the video. There's also links to all the mods in the video as well. Go and check those out. And without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and end the video. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Last week, I built Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in Minecraft. And this week, I'm going to be doing something kind of similar, but I'm going to be taking things way back in time to Fredbear's Family Diner. Now, those of you who haven't seen the last video of this series, I guess this is becoming a series, I didn't really expect it to, but hey, people wanted to see more, so that's cool. For those of you who haven't seen the last video in this series, please go check it out. There's a link in the description. There's a card in the top corner right now. Go check that out, because that's cool. And you're cool. For those of you who don't know much about Fredbear's Family Diner, it's essentially the first location of the Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria locations in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. Now, Fredbear's Family Diner actually had different stars in their shows. They had these two fellas here, Spring Bonnie and Fredbear, who looks a lot more red there than I was expecting. But we all know why that happens. Now, of course, Fredbear's was a smaller location than the actual main Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, so we'll have to experiment here, because we actually don't even know what the place officially looked like. According to the games, we only see a couple rooms of it, and it's all in the form of a 2D minigame. So let's take a look around at some of these FNAF blocks here and get ourselves a layout of what this place should look like. Now, in terms of the flooring, things will be pretty similar to what we did in the first video, where we have these kind of tiled different floors here that are for different areas of the location. The white and black tile for main rooms, we've got the blue and black tile for like the bathroom or for side areas, and then the red and black for passageways or like in between areas like hallways, things like that. And then of course this kind of arcade kind of patterned floor here. It's literally just called arcade floor. But yeah, we got that. We could also put inside the arcade or maybe in front of the stage, stuff like that, to kind of just spice up within the tile here as well. I was actually informed that I was using these wall blocks wrong. The creator of the mod actually saw my video, which thank you for taking a look at it. But I was apparently using these blocks wrong, and it makes sense because you can actually extend these however you need them to be, like that. So that's pretty cool. And I think I'm gonna go with this darker format just because that's kind of how I picture Fredbear's. I don't know why, I just picture it as a bit darker of a location. So once again, it's time to get ourselves a layout of where we want all of the different things in this place to be. And I think first I'm actually gonna start off with where the stage is gonna be. So once again, we'll go with yellow for the stage. Now, I also imagine that there's these little side stages for when they started introducing the rest of Freddy's gang. If you remember in the FNAF 4 minigames, there is actually a Fredbear and Friends TV show, and the other Freddy's characters did exist at the same time as Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, so we could have separate stages. Maybe Freddy comes on, and maybe Chica comes on every now and then, stuff like that, just to liven it up a little bit. And actually, I'm gonna squeeze those out just a tad bit. They're actually the same length, but not quite, because that makes sense. So over here we have the prize corner. It's gonna be a segment there, and then over on this side here we're gonna open this up a bit to give us room for the arcade. Now the arcade's gonna be pretty small in comparison to the last one, because I feel like Fredbear's wouldn't have been as established, so it wouldn't have as much of a space for that. So once again, we have a layout here that's kind of similar to the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, but it does have some significant differences. So let's go ahead and go over what those are real quick. So once again, we do have the security office in red down below there. Those two green rooms right there are actually the bathrooms. They're just going to be one stalled bathrooms there, nothing too fancy going on. The pink square there is going to be the kitchen, and that cyan square next to it is going to be the cold storage, like I had in the last one. The orange square is going to be the prize corner. The yellow square is going to be the main stage, with the two magenta squares on either side being side stages. stages for any extra characters. The dark blue square is going to be the parts and service room. The dark purple square up at the top right is going to be the entrance lobby. And then that lime green square is going to be the arcade that you pass through to get into the main stage area. And finally, we do have one more secret room here that we're going to have, and it's going to be the secret safe room that ends up getting boarded up in the lore of FNAF 3, I believe they discuss. And that's going to be in that open space in front of the security office. Just like last time, I'm going to go ahead and fill in all these floors, fill in all these walls, and then I'll fill you guys in with what's going on. So give me a moment, and I'll be right back. This is also your reminder, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so. I really enjoy doing these videos, and if you enjoyed it as well, you know, it tells me to keep doing what I'm doing. So if you enjoyed, hit that subscribe, and without further ado, let's continue. Floors are done. Check that off the list. With that, all of our walls, floors, and even the curtains have been built up and are ready to go. So now it's all just a matter of adding roofs and decorating these areas to fit what they need. And I guess first things first is getting these animatronics up on their stages. So I have the main two, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, up on the top here. Or the top? The middle. Wow. I don't know how words work. We also have Freddy and Bonnie regular versions over here. And then we have Chica and Foxy over here on the side as well. Totally not munching on a kid's head and luring a bunch of other ones to a back room somewhere. So, of course, like last time, I went with the prize counter first, just because I think this is the most fun for me to decorate. I really enjoy doing the presents and the plushies and all that stuff. It's just kind of fun for me. But yeah, we have a bunch of plushies here. We've, of course, got the Fredbear and Spring Bonnie plushes to add to this collection here, as we did not have those in the last location that I built. Also, we got some t-shirts, some fast coins, stuff like that you can win from all of your stuff at the arcade. So this is fun, and I think this is pretty much done. We got a nice simplistic roof, but it's still kind of grainy, and it gives off like that older kind of vibe, like the Fredbear's Diner probably would, because it was from the 70s. So obviously things there weren't as polished. I don't wanna like say anything bad about any of those stuff, but like, you know, wasn't as polished as it could be. All right, the main party room is now completed. We have a bunch of birthday streamers and stars hanging from the ceiling here. We've got a bunch of the posters and stuff up around, but nothing too complicated. It does still have that simplistic feel that Fredbear's would have. It actually does feel like the location from FNAF 4, where the crying child does inevitably meet his end. But it does feel like this area. It feels good, you know. It feels very simplistic and nice. I like it. Here we also have the backstage room as well. We've got a few extra Spring Bonnie and Fredbear heads. We got some endoskeleton parts and stuff. The hat and bow tie extra just in case his gets a little dirty. We got the spring lock suits as well that you can actually put on. And yeah, that's on me now. Hate that. Get off of me. You also have the spare suits here in the back as well. One of them seems to have had a bit of an incident, but we're not going to talk about it. We also have the similar lighting to before. We don't have the industrial, the iron trapdoors over it to make it look more industrial, just because it does feel more like those kind of fluorescent lights that you would see way back when in the golden days of the 70s. Next up we have the arcade, which is honestly very simplistic. It's just a few arcade machines, nothing super special going on here. We do have a claw machine here as well. I know it's got stuff from the Rockstar or the glam rock animatronics, but we're not going to talk about that. It's fine. And of course we have the main entrance and lobby, where we have a seat for people to hang out while they're waiting for their party to get seated. We have the hostess's desk where she keeps track of all of her papers to make sure everybody is all good. Got some posters, we got some plans, and of course we have our rules list, which is important for everybody to know before they come in, because we don't want them to break any of the rules now, do we? Of course the bathrooms are pretty simplistic, because it's literally just a toilet paper, sink, mirror, and a simple little light in here. Keeps it a little bit different from everything else, but also still fits in the aesthetic very well. And then of course we have our security office, which is very similar to the one that I built in the first location. However, this one doesn't have any windows, and I'm actually basing this off of the Return to Bloody Nights fan game, because I really liked the office design of that one, where you only have the door accessibility and then the cameras. There was the prize counter, or the prize room behind where you sit in that game, but I didn't want to include that in here, so I just had some lockers as well, because for functionality's sake, I feel like that makes a lot more sense. We got some filing cabinets, of course, some extra monitors and stuff, and then here you have the desk storage where you can keep your camera monitor, and of course the door buttons. Wow, I can't talk. There are no light buttons as well, as I want to kind of minimalize the productivity of this room, as you know, it's from an earlier time, so it's not as efficient as it could be. The hallways are also pretty simple. Just got a purple carpet heading down towards the security office, which I think is a really nice touch. It also goes off of the Return to Bloody Nights fan game, where there's the carpet leading up towards the doors. I just think that was a really nice touch, and we got these purple curtains here kind of opening up the area towards that, and of course we can close them, but they don't really look great closed, so we're going to leave them open. We also have these streamers going across different flags and paper cutouts and stuff like that, just to help you know, emphasize the celebration of someone's birthday party here, which is going to tragically go wrong. And of course we have the kitchen, which is pretty similar to the last one. Got some stoves, fridges, the dishwashing sinks, some extra storage here, and of course the cold storage, which once again doesn't have much going on in here, but it's there for continuity's sake, I guess. But yeah, pretty simple room in here, nothing too fancy, too special going on. You know, gets the job done, and of course some pizza boxes, which you can actually open. I didn't realize you could do that. With that, the interior of Fredbear's is completed. So now it's just a matter of actually getting this front facade here finished up as well, and we'll see where it goes from there. And here we are with Fredbear's Diner. Now, I actually based this off of that old image from way back in 2014 when people photoshopped the Freddy Fazbear's text onto some random building, and everyone was like, oh my god, Freddy Fazbear's is real, go to it, it's cool. Yeah, no, that wasn't real, but I based this off of that style of building because I thought that would be fun to do. So we have the darker textures here, and then the like kind of bluish roof and detailing here on the sides. I think it looks nice. I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments. It might be a little bit too harsh on the eyes, might not. I don't know. But also, you know, it says Fredbear's Diner there, and let's go ahead and hop inside here and check out what is going on. So we have the lobby where you come in, you check in with the hostess or host or whoever, you know, I'm not one to judge. You take a seat, wait for your party to be called in, get ready to go. And as you pass through to get to the main party room, you pass through the arcade, which has quite a few games here to play. And yeah, you can get some nice tokens and get some nice things from the prize corner, which we'll see in a moment here. And then we walk straight into the main party room. Now it has some party seating and some regular seating as well. Now I have these wooden chairs here because I didn't want it to feel as branded as the other Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. I wanted it to feel like it's kind of, you know, still in its starting stages, because that's what Fredbear's was. Fredbear's was still the, you know, one of the starter locations. So getting things more branded with the special chairs and stuff didn't happen probably until later. So I don't know, I thought it's a nice detail. And we have here the 3 stages. We have the 2 side stages with our normal cast here, and then we have the main stage with Fredbear and Spring Bonnie ready for their show. Now we also have the prize corner, which has a bunch of different presents, plushies, shirts, all kinds of different things that you can get with your tokens from the arcade machines. So that's something that's really cool. I think it's a really fun detail here to have all of the plushies and stuff, especially the Fredbear and the Spring Bonnie plushes, because that really ties into the merchandising of the initial location. We also have the backroom parts and service here, where we have all kinds of different animatronic parts and suits and stuff like that as backups, just in case something happens with the ones that are on stage. We can replace some stuff here, and nothing will go wrong whatsoever. We also have the kitchen, which is complete with stoves, dishwashing sinks, fridges, cabinets, and of course the cold storage room. Nothing too fancy, but still detailed enough for me to be happy with it. And of course we have our hallways leading up to the security office, which do still have the party decorations, keeps the mood of the party going throughout the location. We have a bunch of posters and kids drawings and stuff, kind of just bringing some life to these otherwise bland walls. And of course we have the bathrooms. We have the boys and the girls. Obviously there's nothing really different in comparison between the two, other than one is mirrored from the other. But these are nice and simple, and of course you can turn on the faucet and wash your hands whenever you need. And of course we have the security office here. It's pretty simplistic, but it's based off of the offices both from FNAF 1 and from the fan game, The Return to Bloody Nights. It's pretty simplistic, where it only has the door functionality, no lights, but it does have the desk where you can store your camera monitor, your filing cabinets, your locker, you know, all kinds of different stuff going on in here. But pretty simplistic, and I feel like that fits the time pretty well. And of course we have the secret safe room that has been boarded up and blocked away from prying eyes. Now the floor here is a bit more cracked and it's a bit more dingy in here. It's also very dark, but I left it empty because I want to know, what would you guys put in this room? Now I know that this is technically where Springtrap, you know, becomes a thing. Yeah, William Afton gets into the suit, it spring locks him, and he's left in here for 30 years to rot. But I want to know what you guys would put in here. Would you put him in here, or would you make something else? Let me know down in the comments. And so my friends, I believe that leaves us with the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this build. I didn't really have as much fun building this one as I did with the first location, but it was still fun to put my decorational skills to use and see how exactly I could build this place up. This is very much outside of my building comfort zone because it's, you know, blocks that I've really never used before. In terms of, you know, I don't use the FNAF blocks in actual Minecraft builds. So this was a very, very different type of thing for me, as was the first one. So let me know what you thought in the comments, and also don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed. Like I said before in a few other videos, thank you so much for getting me to 1K. There's, you know, I had conditions set for if you did, and you guys did it, so don't worry, those conditions will be met here soon. I'm just waiting on things to get delivered, but that's fine. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Until the next video, I will see you later. You know what time it is? It's FNAF building time. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Kjwippy, and welcome back to another episode of building the different FNAF locations and stuff in Minecraft. Today we're going to be making the location similar to FNAF 2 with the grand reopening of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. And of course, with Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we have a lot more animatronics to keep track of. There's a lot. Do we actually have to deal with this many in the actual game? That's right, I forgot about the puppet. Anyway, we have a lot of animatronics here that we have to make space for. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do what I've been doing with the entire rest of this series, where, you know, set up a floor scheme, set up a wall scheme, and get a layout. So I'll go ahead and do all that real quick. Give me 1 sec, I'll be right back. This is also your reminder, if you haven't subscribed already, please do so, because it's cool, and you'd be a cool person if you did. I mean, you already are, but you'd be even cooler. Ooh! Alrighty, so we got our layout here. Let's just go ahead and get right on to labeling what all is going to be what. So first off, of course, the red box is always the security office, and just like in FNAF 2, this security office is kind of weirdly off to the side here. I never really understood the layout of this place, but you know what? I'm not questioning it. The 2 green boxes that are on either side of the security office are going to be those party rooms, and then the white lines that are made of iron blocks there are actually the vents that are going to be going directly towards the office. The magenta box up in the top left is going to be the parts and service room where all the withered animatronics are. The 2 dark green boxes up there are going to be the bathrooms, as always. The big room on the top right there, that is going to be the main party room, with the yellow box being where the stage is, the orange box being the prize counter, the purple box being the lobby, and then that brown box is actually going to be a part of the party room, but it's going to be where that carousel and where Balloon Boy and all that are hanging out and kind of just chilling there. And then the pink box is going to be both where Mangle is and where the arcade is. So we'll kind of have that all combined in there. And I know that these are different colors than I used in the other ones. It's because I forgot what colors I used for what. So we're not going to talk about it. It's fine. So now, without further ado, let's get some stuff built up in here with those floors and the walls, and then I'll meet you after. So I don't know if I actually mentioned, but I want to use this green and blue and red checkered tile here as kind of a transitionary block to help separate different areas of the flooring, because it makes it a little bit easier, a little less tacky in the separation of these rooms here. I feel like it works. Floor, check. So I also realized that, yeah, you know, that the creator of this mod pack, they really were right. I don't know how to use these walls, because apparently the lighter walls go with these ones, which are part of FNAF 2 stuff. I didn't realize that this was even a thing. I'm just stupid and an idiot. But hey, you guys still watch my stuff, so you clearly must be smarter than I am. Alrighty, all of the walls are built up, and I wanted to go ahead and use the darker sections for some of this place, especially with the security office. I feel like in here, just that darker tone just fits so much better in here, especially since it does still have the black and white tiles going around. It fits a lot better, I think, in here. And then also, over in the arcade area, I have it like that, because the arcade, I feel like, should be a little bit darker. It's a grand reopening of Freddy Fazbear's, so it would be a little bit more up-to-date, kind of similar to how most arcades now, at least, are a bit darker inside them. So it would be a little bit darker inside here, and then of course this would be Mangle's corner here, and Mangle's creepy, so why not have Mangle in the darker room? So now that we have all of these walls up, it is time, as usual, to get all the rooms decorated up, and this time I'm actually going to start off with the security office. Here we have the main office of the security guard. Now this is, honestly, I'm really happy with this. I think this came out really well. It looks a lot like the original, where it's kind of cluttered. It's got a bunch of different stuff hanging from the ceiling and the walls, and it of course has these kind of striped pattern up above the door with the signs on it saying, uh-oh, there's things coming. I do have some extra things up as well, as like the papers and all that stuff. There's some of those shown in the actual office there. And most importantly, we have the vents here off to the sides, which you can turn on the lights and scare away whatever's there. Scare away whatever's there. I also have added this, which you may recognize from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach. It's actually a flashlight recharge station, and that is because this flashlight here can actually light up the area wherever you go. It's got its own like dynamic lighting to it, which is really cool. So you know, it can be kind of an aspect of the actual Five Nights at Freddy's 2 game, where you can actually use your flashlight to scare things off. I don't know if that actually works against the actual animatronics, but it's a thing, and then you can just charge it. Let it charge. It's still charging. Oop, I picked it up. Oh, it ate my flashlight. Well, that's rude. Alright, so we have these party rooms also set up now, with their decorations, party hats, tables, chairs, all that stuff. Pretty simple stuff, but it's feeling alive. It's feeling pretty alive in here, and I think that works pretty well. You also notice that we have the vent openings here as well for the animatronics to crawl through, although I don't think they actually can. That'll be something to test out, I guess, in another time. Of course, we also have our parts and service room, which is honestly very simplistic. Not too much going on in here other than all the wires, all of the, of course, broken down animatronics. I did put Golden Freddy in here, although he's not technically in this room in the actual game, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. We also have here a desk for the technician to work. I always wondered why there was this weird, like, kind of curve here in the corner, so I decided to make use of that and put the technician's desk right here, similar to what I had in the other Freddy Fazbear's Pizza that I made. So that's gonna go right here, and I think that works pretty well. So that's another room checked off our list. We also have the bathrooms here, which are a little bit less cramped than I feel like the first ones were, for the sole reason that I'm using wall blocks here, and there are spaces in between the doors in this, but that is kind of representative of what real life bathroom stalls are like. So honestly, I feel like it fits. I feel like it works. I don't know. I think it's nice. We also have here our mirror technique from the first location as well, with some sinks and stuff to do stuff. Someone did suggest getting the immersive portals mod for this, and I don't think that's a bad idea. However, I don't know how any of that works, and I'm frankly too afraid to figure it out. Alright, we have our arcade here set up. Nothing too fancy, of course. We wanted to leave room for the Mangle area as well, which she's kind of creepy looking. Not gonna lie. I don't like that. But yeah, we have the arcade machines here looking real nice and fancy over here. We got a couple claw machines as well. Yeah, nothing too fancy going on in here. Kind of simplistic, and it fits the vibe. So, on to the next. So I just realized I missed a very important thing, the kitchen. There's actually no kitchen location in the actual game, so I went ahead and added this into this area by the stage up here. So, you know, people can come out here, like the, waiters and stuff. Waiters? Do they have waiters at these kinds of places? I guess they have people who bring out food. Whatever. The people who bring out the food, they can come out through there. We got a pretty simplistic kitchen in here, nothing too fancy as per usual with these, although I have a Freddy poster in here now. That's pretty fun. But yeah, nothing super different from the other kitchens that I've made in this series. I think I like this one the most though, because it feels like it actually has, the most efficient layout. There's all the stoves, there's all the cold storage, the fridges, then all the dishes storage, and then the dishwashing area as well. So I think that works pretty well here. And then of course in the cold storage, nothing too much going on in here. Nothing going on at all. All right, we have the prize counter done here as well. And this one, honestly, I think is probably one of my favorite prize counters as well. It feels like it has a lot more space for there to be, a worker in here who can go back and grab things that need to be given to customers. And there's also the music box here, which has the puppet inside it. Couldn't really figure out a way to efficiently get them in there, so that's literally the best I can do. But it works, it looks good, I like it. There's also the presents and stuff strewn about everywhere, kind of just further reinforcing the gift-giving nature of this area. The gift giving. Ha! Also, don't mind the particles that are coming off me. I totally didn't have to murder this thing like 7 times. And so we have our main party room done as well. We got plenty of seating here for not just party goers, but also for regular diners as well. We have the quote-unquote carousel over here. It's kinda wonky, but hey, it's got a cool little awning on the top. It's nice, right? We also got a little ball pit here. We have the different streamers and stars and stuff hanging from the ceiling. And of course, the main attractions themselves, the toy animatronics. Pretty interesting stuff here, pretty exciting. We got a bunch of posters and all that up as well. And this is a relatively cleaner room in terms of the walls, so I don't want to have any drawings or stuff strewn up really about in here. But yeah, and of course we have Balloon Boy as well, but we don't talk about him. And of course, a very simple lobby here with some seating for waiting parties. Of course, the host desk. And a bunch of big plants that I feel like are just really nice. I really like putting these in. I don't know why, but they're nice. And of course some posters as well, kind of advertising what's going on here. And I forgot something. There we go. That's better. With that, all of our rooms are completed, and it is now time for us to once again design an exterior for this build. And I think I have an idea of what I'm gonna do. Here we are with the brand new Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, now reopening with brand new animatronics. Now, we're not going to talk about how this exterior doesn't wrap around the entire rest of it, because I just don't want to talk about it. But as you can see, we have a pretty simplistic design on the outside here. We do have some more banner letters here, which I think are just a consistent thing that are kind of expected here. I also wanted to include some posters as well, because I feel like, that would have a lot of advertising on the outside of, hey, look what's in here, look, we got stuff, look, we got things. So I feel like that fits pretty well. I also like how these awnings here sit directly below this pattern along these bricks, so I feel like that was a perfect decision there. But yeah, just simple things like that, and of course it does have the brick style, and then the more tan kind of main coloring, similar to the other pizzeria that I made, but it's a little bit better, a little bit smoother. And then if we head on inside here, like I showed before, we have the lobby here, which has some pretty simplistic design as well, just some seating and a host desk for getting everyone's reservations and all that stuff ready. And then of course inside here we have the main party room, which is complete with seating and animatronics and decorations all over the place. I'm having a stroke, don't mind me. We have the prize counter with all sorts of different things that you can win and take home and cherish forever. We have the puppet who is holding a gift ready to give gifts and give life. And also to scare the crap out of you when you forget to rewind the music box. We have over here Balloon Boy's little corner where he's got the carousel and the ball pit and all kinds of stuff over here where he can laugh his days away. We also have Mangle's corner over here inside the arcade area where children unfortunately come along and absolutely destroy her. But I don't think she minds. And speaking of the arcade, we have a bunch of machines over here with some of the different drawings and stuff as well above that. This is kind of the kids' personal corner here, which is pretty cool. We also have the kitchen, which is complete with ovens, fridges, dishwashing sinks, and a Freddy poster, of course. And the cold storage as well, which has, like I said before, absolutely nothing in here. Of course, if we go down this hallway here, we'll come across the bathrooms, which are nicely made with some metal stalls, toilets, toilet paper, all that stuff. and some sinks and all that. Nothing too fancy, nothing too special. Inside this room here, we have the back room parts and service, where the technician works on all of the old animatronics or takes them apart for parts to use for the new ones. Either or, however you want to interpret it. And of course, down this hallway, we have all of the different party rooms, which have all sorts of different decorations and party setups for individuals to have their own spaces in case they don't want to be out in the main crowds. And then, of course, the main office where we can chill out and make sure that we protect the place by night. I'm pretty happy with this. I really like how this came out, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you want to use any of the mods that I've used, there is a link in the description to the CurseForge pack. Like I mentioned in the comments of another one of these videos, I know that CurseForge has been having a lot of issues with malware and stuff like that, but the pack that I have used here is completely safe, 100%. I have double, triple, quadruple checked it. Everything in that pack is completely safe. So feel free to use that, and if something bad happens, I didn't do it. And I also wanted to quick note, a lot of people mentioned that in the Fredbear video, I didn't actually have any cameras set up, and this is true, and it's because I didn't feel like I wanted to set up any cameras in that. Similar here, I didn't want to set up any cameras in this just because I felt like it was kind of I didn't want to set them up because I just honestly didn't feel like it. But if you wanted to, there is a way you can do that. You simply just need to find the cameras and the camera monitor. You can place a camera, let's say you want to place a camera right here. You can place it, and then you use the monitor on it, and then you can use that. Look at it. Hello. Hi. But I didn't want to do that in this one just because I didn't honestly feel like it. I feel like this place is fine just the way it is. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like. And if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. You guys have been absolutely wild with the subscribing lately, and I'm honestly very grateful for each and every one of you that has stopped by. Please consider checking out some of my other content that is on my channel here. I don't just do Minecraft, I do a whole bunch of things, so please go check that out. Also, if you want to see more of this, please let me know down in the comments what you would like to see next. So far, the plan is to do the Fazbear Frights location next, as I'm kind of just going in order of the storylines locations, but let me know what you want to see in the comments, and other than that, I hope you guys stay safe. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! A lot of people think that I'm really stupid. I got a lot of comments on the last FNAF build that I made where I apparently don't know the lore, quote unquote. I do know that FNAF 2 is technically before FNAF 1, but I called it newer. That's because it's implied that the FNAF 1 pizzeria actually existed before the FNAF 2 pizzeria. I'm basing off of a lot of theories here. I don't know what's actually confirmed or not, but I'm making things the way I want to make them. There's a reason it says custom in the title. I can't speak English right, but we're not going to talk about it. Anyway, welcome back to another FNAF build. My name's Kjwippy, and today we're going to be doing the FNAF 3 Fazbear Frights location. Now, I'm not as familiar with this location as with the others, mostly because it's kind of like a... You enter from one side of the building, you walk through a scary ooh boo, I'm getting scared thing, and then you exit through another exit. So it's more of like a themed attraction than anything else. So I need to figure out what the layout of this thing is. I don't remember at all. I have to do some research real quick. But before we do that, I just want to take a look here at the blocks and stuff that we're going to be using for this. We're going to be using the same old bread and butter from the last 2, 3, however many of these I've done already. But we're also going to be using these. These are the rancid wall tiles and walls here from the Five Nights at Freddy's mod. And also, I want to say, I know that the mod has been updated. I know, but the thing is, the rest of these mods aren't. So I can't use the rest of these with that one. If they're not the same version, I don't have the updates. Please stop telling me that it's updated. I know. But yes, I'm going to be using the rancid wall tiles from that, and then I'm going to be using these as well. And of course, the same kind of flooring as before. No arcade floor in this one. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think it's just going to be mainly the tile here. So let me take a moment here, go find all of the layouts and stuff that I want to go with, and we'll figure it out from there. All right, this one got a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I had to move my displays of the different blocks and stuff that I was going to use because I kind of accidentally went into that space. But let me just explain what all is going on here. In the middle of this structure, you can see what appears to be the similar layout from FNAF 3 in this section here. We have that brown room, which is like where camera 9 and camera 10 are. That yellow room where that Chica head with the light inside of it and the puppet mask on the wall. The light green is where the arcade machines are, where the Phantom Chica activation thing is right there. We have that hallway there where camera 5 is, where there's that small vent that can get you near, or that can get Springtrap near the security office. And then there's that blue hallway, which has like the Bonnie, like that partial Bonnie costume stand in it, and then that orange hallway that has the Foxy head on the wall. There's those two hallways there. And then we also have the hallway that's right in front of where the security office is, where the big window is, and then around that corner is where the door is, and of course the red box there is the security office. We have those white lines there, which are symbolizing the vents, which will eventually get put in as well. There's more rooms than actually are in the actual game, and this is, again, for logistics sake. We have the magenta box to the left there, which is like where the main entrance of the actual attraction is. So there's going to be a desk where you can buy your tickets. You can, pick out, I need adult tickets, I need kid tickets, and then as we move up that hallway there, you'll see that there are the main bathrooms in that dark green box there. That upper area with the 3 gray boxes is actually going to be different stages that are set for when the people who set up this attraction eventually find more animatronics from the different eras of Freddy's. They talk about in the phone calls that, oh, we're still looking for a bunch of stuff to put in here. So maybe this could be like, as you're being introduced to the attraction, you see different things of what they used to be, and then you actually get into the main attraction and it's all creepy and scary and whatever. Then you go through what I just described at the beginning of this section of the video, and then at the bottom there, as you reach the other exit where that purple dot is, you'll find more bathrooms for, hey, if you need to go to the bathroom after doing that, there's a couple right there. You go down that hall a bit more, that pink box is the gift shop, so if you decide, I want to get some souvenirs, then you can. And of course, it leads back up to that main entrance/exit area where you can get out. You've done your thing and you gotta go. So I thought it was very important that I need to include something along the lines of what's going on the outer edge here. I hope I explained that properly, and I'm sure that you guys will see what exactly I'm talking about when it actually gets built. But until then, let's go ahead and get all the flooring in and all that stuff that I normally do in these. And I will see you guys in a moment as I do that. Alright, all the floors are in, wall time. Alright, all the walls and floors and vents are now all in place, and now it's time for the next step. Alright, and so of course first we have decorated the security office as per usual. This one is a little bit different than the last few, considering that we have a different wall type here, but also there's a lot more stuff scattered around. We have the iconic box of toys, which I remember, do you remember way back when FNAF 3 was first coming out, and there was the teaser that had the spotlight over this box, and everybody thought that it was going to be teasing like an animatronic that took all the parts and like fused together into one thing. Man, those were the golden days. But yes, we've got ourselves a little desk chair here. We've got a vent that leads in towards here that Springtrap can come through. We do have a door, but there's no button for it because you can't close the door in FNAF 3, and so we can't do that either. We have a couple broken down arcade machines, some lockers to put our stuff in, etc., etc., and then of course a simple little light here, which I'm going to be implementing all around this place because this honestly, it's the best light for this. I feel like this is perfect. Alright, so I've also made the hallway here, and I've actually combined a few of the hallways here into one section of work, just because they're all kind of similar in the ways that they are being decorated. So we have here this hallway that's right outside the office, where first of all, I really like how this looks when you look inside the window here. But anyway, we have the Freddy stand here, which actually has a light inside it to kind of simulate the glowing eyes effect that you see in the actual games, which I thought was a really clever idea on my part. Not to pat myself on the back or anything. Yeah, we've just got some simple drawings, posters, pizzas, wires, and stuff hanging around everywhere. Then here we have the same kind of trick with the Bonnie stand over there, more posters and such, and then the Foxy head actually glows on its own, so that's really cool. I'm really glad that we have an option for that in there. But yeah, this is all pretty much the same in terms of decoration, just pizzas, posters, drawings, stands, stuff like that. And I really like how cluttered it feels. It feels like it's just kind of spontaneously put together, like the Fazbear Friday attraction employees probably did. It doesn't feel like it's all exactly organized, and it's kind of off-putting and kind of creepy. So I like it, and I think the lighting works too as well, where it's brighter around the stand, but then it kind of like gets dark in the middle here, and it's, yeah, I don't know, it's nice. I like it. And so we also have the arcade done here, which, like all the others before, have the arcade machines, the drawings, all that stuff in it, but a lot more wires and stuff hanging from the ceiling, making this feel really cluttered and old and broken down, which is kind of the vibe that the whole place gives, so I think that's pretty good here. I also went with a similar design to what I did with the FNAF 2 build that I did in the last video, which, hey, if you haven't watched that yet, go check it out. There's a card right now up on the top corner, and there's a link in the description. Go check that out. But yeah, I feel like that kind of fit, and it broke up the rest of the build as well. You know, it gives it a bit more variety. Then, of course, we have this hallway here, which is a little bit empty, but not horrible. Although I am realizing I did forget something. I forgot the confetti on the floors. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, we have the hallway here for camera 8, where the glowing Chica head and all those presents and stuff are, and then we also have the mask of the puppet on the wall too. And, you know, kind of like before, similar design choices here with a lot of the drawings and posters and stuff. And then in this room here, we have camera 9 and camera 10, where Mr. Springtrap normally spawns at the beginning of each night. Now, this room, I kind of wanted to play around with the corners here a bit. Not quite sure how I feel about them, but let me know how you feel about them in the comments. Yeah, and then he's creepy. And I believe if I set tonight, yeah, he gets up. Hi. Ugh. But you also notice I have the camera monitor and camera in my inventory here as well. I've actually set up each camera to be at the specific location that each one is supposed to be at. So if you, you go around to each one, let's say camera 8 is supposed to be the Chica hallway, there it is. There's the puppet mask. Awesome. You go to camera 7 where the arcades are, boom. And then that screen, quote unquote, would have Phantom Chica's thing there. This is camera 4. It would be pointing at the Foxy head, but it doesn't like to automatically be in that position, so this is the best we can do. But, you know, just stuff like that. It's really, really helpful to have that in here to give you a sense of immersion. So I think that's really cool to have in here. And a lot of people are asking what mod actually has the camera, and it's actually Security Craft. I figured it out. I'm thinky real good. All right, so for these display areas, I wanted to go ahead and take features from a few of the different builds that I've made. So I went ahead and recreated the FNAF 1 office that I made in the first of these videos. And I like to think that these are areas that people, like, on their way into the attraction, they can take pictures of this stuff, and you'd be like, wow, this is so cool. This is awesome. So I have a bunch of different things here. You can, you know, you can interact with the doors and lights and stuff as you're walking by. Of course, you know, there's the famous fan and cupcake and celebrate poster. I don't know if I know English. But yeah, there's the office set up from FNAF 1 here. We also have Foxy's Cove here, which I like to think that they got like a knockoff animatronic that's not actually authentic, but they're like, we'll still put it up anyway. So we got like an off-brand Foxy's Cove here or something. And then of course we have the music box from FNAF 2, but no puppet. So that's curious. You're not the puppet. But yeah, no, I wanted to kind of just feature a bunch of this stuff as kind of like this is the stuff that we found. It's relics from the past. And then of course it leads right into the entrance here with this guy here. I also went ahead and did the bathrooms as well. Same kind of techniques as before, where I use these blocks as the stalls and such. We also have the gift shop here, which is complete with a bunch of different merchandise, similar to the prize corners in other builds that I've done. But this one also has a desk here for any purchases to be made, and it's actually the same one that I used in the security office, but it's, you know, I feel like this one helps because it also has the bobblehead, so it kind of advertises those as well. But yeah, just a bunch of different merch and stuff that people can come buy after they come through the attraction here. And of course the entrance lobby, where we have the different entrance and exit here for the guests that come through. We have a desk here for the ticket salesman, and then, you know, people can come through, go all the way down this way towards their eventual fate, because Springtrap's gonna murder them all. And I've decided with this one, I don't think I actually want to do an exterior, and that is because I like the idea that this place is a mystery. You know, we don't know what this place really looks like. We don't know what it entails, and already I've added a lot more to kind of reveal those secrets, and I feel like adding an exterior would just be kind of, you know, overkill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a tour of this location. So you come in here, and it says enter if you dare, and exit only. So obviously we're not allowed to go this way. We have to go this way, but first we have to purchase our tickets from whoever is working the ticket stand over here. We buy our ticket, we come on through, and if we need to go to the bathroom before we begin our experience, there is the bathrooms here, which are complete with the toilets and toilet paper and all that stuff for, you know, things that you might need to do. As we come over here and around this corner, we see, like I showed before, the different locations, different pieces. We got the security office, estimated from the 1990s. we have the Foxy's Pirate Cove from around 1983, the Fredbear era, and then of course we have the music box from the 1987 location. And of course we round this corner here, Fazbear's Fright, beware, and instantly we can see something very terrifying within here. But we have here the location of Five Nights at Freddy's 3. Are you staring at me? Or is that... That was... I'm gonna move on now, goodbye. But we can make our way through this creepy location here, complete with different animatronic heads and parts sitting around. We can make our way into the arcade, check out the creepy games that await us. We've got this hallway here with more posters and drawings and pizzas and the camera. We've got a Bonnie stand here with a light inside of it showing our way. We can move along in here to the Foxy head, as well as some pipes, more posters, all sorts of different spooky decorations. And as we make our way in this direction towards the security office, we can peek in here and say hello to the local security guard, who, I guess just so happens to be us. But make our way around past this Freddy stand here and into the office where we can see all of the extra toys and pieces and papers and all that stuff kind of just hanging around in here. And then we can make our way out through the exit to once again be met with some bathrooms. If you suddenly need to go from being spooked inside there, you can come in real quick and do your thing. And if you follow this hallway around down this way, you come across the gift shop where you can come in and purchase any merchandise that you like, and you can enjoy what you find here at home. And we finally make our way out through this exit once again, and we're able to leave. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. I have to say, I'm absolutely amazed that I've made it to 3,000 subscribers. You guys are absolutely insane. I really appreciate all that you've done with this series, with my channel, and I hope that you guys stick around for more. I do want to say that I am going to be taking these videos a bit slower in terms of the Five Nights at Freddy's builds, because these do take up quite a lot of time to make. And honestly, I get very burnt out from it very quickly, and I would like to try to do some more of my other content. So if you haven't watched any of my other videos, please consider doing so, because I've put a lot of hard work into them, and I really think that you guys would enjoy them. Speaking of my other videos, if you guys enjoy FNAF 3 and you want to check out more content related to that, I have made some videos on a FNAF 3 remake recently. So if you want to go check those out as well, there's a link in the description to those. But in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. And if you don't, come back and watch some more videos, because I would like to try to make those days better for you. But in the meantime, I hope you all stay safe. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Wow, would you look at that? The FNAF Freddy's man getting updated.
Yeah, I know. Here I am. Look, see, I'm updated now. I got all kinds of new... I can't really show that here, I guess. Hey, it's me, Kjwippy, and we're doing another FNAF build thing, and it's FNAF 4 time, so we're gonna do that. So before I get started, I do just want to say, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider doing so, and please feel free to check out some of my other content on this channel as well. I do a bunch of other gaming content, let's plays, reactions, all sorts of different things, so go check that out if that's something that interests you. There's a card in the corner right now to one of my favorite videos right now, Grass Block. Whoa. Anyway, yeah, go do that if you want to do that. So I went ahead and just skipped right ahead to making the layout of the house, because this is such a different build from the rest of the ones that I've made in this series so far. So I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of list off what I have here. It's gonna be a 2-story house, and let's just go ahead and get started with labeling everything. So this red box down here, like every other build that we've done, that's gonna be where the main game takes place. This is the bedroom where you try to survive the nights in FNAF 4. That orange box there is going to be the closet space, and then of course those 2 hallways right there lead to different areas of the house as well. The yellow box there, for some reason, has a hole in it, and I didn't realize that, but that yellow box there is going to be where the dining room is, and that green box up at the top left is going to be the kitchen, and then that pink section there is going to be the stairs that lead up to the 2nd floor, and underneath that will also have like a small closet as well that can be a separate storage area or something for the house as well. And then of course in that entranceway area, of course leading towards the top right, that leads to the family room, the living room, whatever you want to call it. It's the Afton house, so I don't really know if anything's considered living anymore. Then that dark green box right there is going to be the downstairs bathroom. And of course the purple square up at the top is going to be where the main front door is going to be, and that opening actually at the yellow box down there I've decided is going to be where the exit out the backyard is going to be, and I'm gonna have a little porch going around the house as well. Now, I don't exactly have a block set up for what I want for the walls or for what I want for the floors or anything like that, because I want this to kind of be more experimental with how I do this, because it's different. It's very, very different from what I've done before. So I'm going to go ahead and try to just experiment around, see what I can figure out, see what I can play around with, really use my Minecraft builder knowledge in terms of block palettes and stuff like that to really make this place fit. So give me a little bit here, and let's see what I can work up for this first floor. One of the cool things about this updated mod pack, which by the way, this is the Tony's FNAF mod pack on CurseForge. It has been updated to 1.19.2. There's a bunch of new mods and a bunch of updated versions of the older mods that it has. And one of the new ones that it includes is Quark, which has vertical planks, which is really cool because it gives off this striped effect I'm actually trying to give to this room here, as I want to give it another wallpaper type of style as you've been seeing throughout the entire rest of this place. So that's kind of cool. All the rooms have their flooring, their walls, and all the things of the such. This is a really weird house to make, but going off of the different games and seeing how the different Aftons decorate their homes, they really like weird wallpaper, so that's kind of what I had to go with. And you might be wondering what exactly this is, and this is actually supposed to be based off of the room at the end of each night from Sister Location, where Mike goes after he finishes each night. And watches TV, watches that Dracula show or whatever. So this is kind of supposed to be a reference to that. Maybe Mike still lives in this house in Sister Location. Maybe he still lives here, and that's why it's so easy for him to get to work. I forgot the walls in the bathroom. And of course, now it's time to lay out the second floor. And I know that this looks really weird, but try and keep up with me, see if any of this makes sense to you guys. So we have, of course, the stairs leading up to this platform here, which down one hallway here leads to that room that we see in Five Nights at Freddy's 4, where the plush trap minigame is, or I guess Nightmare Balloon Boy if you play in the Halloween update, whatever. So that has the X on the floor there and a big old chair right there for that. Then everybody wonders what those 4 rooms in that area are for, and I'm gonna go ahead and make 2 of them some storage closets. One of them access to the attic, and then one of them is kind of like another like small kind of den or reading room kind of thing that a lot of houses had in that time, and I guess also have in this time. It's kind of like the equivalent of a loft. And then the pink, the green, and the yellow boxes here are going to be different bedrooms upstairs here as well. And that's really all the upstairs is for different storage, different bedrooms, bathroom, that kind of thing. Really, all the main entertainment stuff is downstairs. So honestly, that's probably all that I need up here. And to clarify something real quick, while I do have the main room from FNAF 4 in the bottom floor, I'm not going to be making that necessarily the crying child's room, because I feel like logically that kind of room would not go to the kid of the house. I feel like the parents would take that kind of room. The giant room with 2 entrances into it, I feel like that would go more for a parent than a child. So I'm gonna have his room actually up here. I'm gonna base it off of the mini game room, which I'll put on screen right now actually. And then also, of course, I'll be basing the other rooms off of the other rooms that you see in the mini games as well, such as the sister's room, etc. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this one as well. Forgot to mention that this little space right here in between these 2 bedrooms is going to be the bathroom for the upstairs. Now as I stand here in this very dark, very creepy looking place, time to start working on the interior decoration for each of these rooms, which honestly is going to be kind of tedious now that I think about it. But it's okay. Of course, first off, we've decorated the bedroom here on the first floor to look just like the room from FNAF 4, which honestly I'm really happy with how this looks. And I did actually include the wall block from the updated mod here, which makes a really good popcorn ceiling like you see in the actual game. So that's really cool. Unfortunately, this isn't centered, so I didn't put the light on the ceiling here that normally goes there, but there is still the lamp here and the lamp here, of course. And I did include a flower pot as well as a hint to the Easter egg where you see the pot of flowers up here every now and then by the bedside. We never actually see this one here. We're normally looking at it from like this angle, so that's never actually seen. But since there's not enough room to put multiple things on there, I went ahead and put it there. And of course, we have the plush. And of course, inside the closet here, not really much going on here other than the Foxy plush there. And then of course, t-shirts and stuff strewn about. Because, you know, what kid in their right mind would organize their room? Maybe I should organize my room. Next up, we have the left hallway, which as you can see is based off of the one in-game, as per usual. It's got a nice little painting here, a lamp, some pictures on the wall and stuff, which I actually just used the kids' drawings items here in the game. So that's pretty cool that I did that, I think. Of course, you can see there's also the clock over here, which actually does feature the bell and all that stuff to sound off the end of the hour. And of course, there's a nice little sitting area over here at the end of the hall as well, which, yeah, looks pretty comfy. I'm sure, of course, you saw that I've also completed the dining room here, which is also, again, complete with pictures, paintings, and, of course, a table here for the Afton family to enjoy their meals together, as if they're ever all together all at once, because someone's getting their head chewed off, someone's getting their guts scooped out. And of course, we also have the kitchen done as well, which there's actually no lighting in here. I'm kind of a fool. Let me just boink. But yes, there's the kitchen here all set up and ready to go as well. Pretty similar to the other kitchens that I've made in this series as well. But these actually have fridges that open up and they got little things in them. Look at them. There's a little piece of cake in there. That's cute. But there's also a little breakfast nook here too, which I feel like is pretty common in a lot of these kind of farmhouses. Because if you do remember, FNAF 4 does take place in like a farmhouse type of place that is in the middle of the fields. So I feel like there would be this kind of kitchen in that place. So yeah, I like it. Of course, we do also have the right hallway as well, which is pretty much a mirrored version of that hallway, except there are these extra windows here. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. Also, there's that door there, which leads into the bathroom, which I think I'm gonna go ahead and do next, because that's nice and easy and pretty simple. We also have the bathroom here, which is complete with sinks, mirrors. We got the toilet paper and toilet, of course, and a shower, actually. So whoever is occupying this room down here, which, like I said, I don't understand why a parent would give their kid that room, so I kind of have a headcanon that that's actually just the master bedroom, and that's where the kid is hiding out to get away from the nightmares. But yeah, whoever's living in that room, they can use this room to do all of their toiletries and stuff, and I think it turned out pretty good. And here we are with the decorated sister location style room as well. Now that thing is way bigger than I thought it was, but it's the only kind of sun thing that fits the general idea of what the actual thing on the wall is there. It's supposed to be a clock. That's sure, yeah, we'll count that, I guess. But also, there's this tiny little TV here, and you could actually change the channels, and it's really cool. It's part of X-Line's Furniture mod, which is a mod that I actually added to this pack myself. There's also links to all the other mods that I personally added to this as well in the description. So if you want to make something similar to this, you have resources to your advantage. Now it's time for the upstairs. And of course, the first room to get some treatment is actually the sisters room, which if you go around in the FNAF 4 minigames, you can come across a room that has some animatronic parts on the bottom and a pink bed and pink lamp and all that. And that is theorized to be the sisters room from the family, Elizabeth Afton, which honestly would make sense considering that she's been munched at this point. She's been absolutely scooped up and absorbed into Circus Baby. Probably okay still, but I mean, you know, you never know. But yeah, pretty simplistic room, nothing too fancy going on in here. Now, the crying child's room is actually going to be a little bit more plain than my usual decorational skills, and that's because I really wanted to capture the simplicity of the minigame room. Because it feels alone, it feels lonely, and when he's in here by himself, you know, there's the part where it's like, you know, he locked you in here again, like it's sad and it's alone. Of course, I added windows, but other than that, he's really isolated in here, except for his little friends here that also go hyonk. Except for you, you're the same one I used downstairs, but that's fine. Also, there weren't any that were missing their heads, so oh well. And of course, there's the upstairs bathroom as well, which features a tub as well as everything that we saw downstairs. Once again, nothing too fancy going on in here, pretty simplistic. The older brother's room is also pretty simplistic in terms of decorations. We just have some drawings and stuff up, which I'm going to pretend are like posters and stuff. We've got some dressers, his bed, of course, and then I actually made him into a gamer. I didn't realize that this gave off light, but it's really funny. I just think it's funny because it prepares him, because, you know, if Mike left and is Mike Schmidt from FNAF 1, then this is just preparing him to sit in front of a computer for a few hours every night to survive against people that want to murder him. So hey, that's pretty cool. And of course, we have the hallway with Plush Trap. Now, he's not here currently because I haven't placed any of the mobs yet, but we do have a couple rooms here for storage, of course. Got a few things going on in here. And then over here we have the den, where, you know, this is actually based off of a room from the mini games as well. The room with the sofa and the TV and the orange carpet. This is essentially that room. And then, of course, also the attic access as well, which will I be actually adding an attic? No, because I don't want to. But yes, so I'm going to be leaving all these doors open to have these doorways open, similar to how Plush Trap works. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this area. And with that, it's time to add an exterior, which, wow, this thing looks terrible. I'm definitely gonna be adding exterior with this because this looks just god awful. Wow. I did add a roof because, or at least a roof over on this section because it needed one to be able to fit to form, but I am gonna be adding an exterior layer around this, so let's see how well I can do that. Well, here we are. This thing's very white. This has the Quark mod, like I mentioned before, which actually has the ancient planks, which is a white wood type. It looks really pretty. And I made this a white farmhouse because this is just a stereotypical farmhouse color, honestly. But yeah, nothing too fancy, nothing too special here. I really like it. Now it's time to go inside and check her out. So we have here the entrance with the staircase up. We have the TV area over there with the theme from the sister location room. We have the kitchen over here to our right, which we can get all of our feasts and stuff for the Afton family. A little breakfast nook and a bunch of different appliances in here. We have the dining room where the Afton family can gather to have some meals, assuming they ever are actually around each other. We also have the hallway here where it leads down towards the main bedroom here, but it's got a bunch of different pictures and paintings, bookshelves, the clock, and all sorts of different things going on in here as well. Of course, the main bedroom, which features all the different things from the actual game, the toys, the dressers, the fan, the different pictures, posters, little honk boy himself, and of course Foxy in the closet with all these things. We also have this right hallway here as well, which features pretty much the same thing as the other hallway. We have the bathroom, which features all the necessities needed for a bathroom, because, you know, bathroom. We have this under the stairs storage spot, which just has a few crates and boxes and stuff, nothing super fancy in there. And then as we go upstairs here, we have this hallway, which features the Plush Trap chair and the X as well to catch him. We have all of these different areas here with the different rooms from the mini games, different storage rooms, and of course access to the attic as well. We have the older brother's room here, which is red themed to feature his Foxy mask that he uses. He's got a bunch of different pictures up as well, and I've made him a gamer because I'm a gamer and that's funny and haha, whatever. We also have the upstairs bathroom, which again features all the bathroom necessities. And of course we have the crying child's room, which features very minimal amount of decoration for the sole purpose that it feels very lonely and obscured. And then the sister's room, which features the pink bed, the pink lamp, all the animatronic parts as we see in the mini games. And yeah, honestly, this thing's really cool, and I'm really happy with how this building has turned out. Now it's time for what everybody is looking forward to, the Nightmare animatronics. So we've set our game tonight. I want to set it to midnight, so that way it is dark out there. So now it's just a matter of setting the guys where they need to be. So, Nightmare. So, Bonnie comes. Oh, he breathes. Oh, that's awful. I'm sorry! So if I look for a flashlight, will a flashlight make them appear? No. Oh, that's horrible. Hi. So then we have Nightmare Freddy, who's technically under the bed, but this will work, I guess. Does he make his little... Oh, look at him step. Oh, he's spooky. No, that you can't go in there. That's not where you go. And of course we have Nightmare Foxy. Ooh, man. We're just gonna shut that, keep you in there. Of course, Nightmare Chica. Yikes. Oh, man. I cannot imagine trying to survive against these guys in, like, survival mode, and I don't want to test it out, and yes, I am a big baby. And just for kicks, we also have... Oh, you didn't see me look at my camera in fear, but I just did that. And then I'm assuming Nightmares. Yeah, Nightmare's just the same. Oh, jeez. Okay. Well, I'll leave the doors open so these guys can roam. Little Plush Trap, don't stare at me with them big old eyes. Yikes. Okay. I'm gonna go now. If I set the time back to day. Yeah, they all disappear. That's horrible. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, I love it, but I also hate it all at the same time. Yikes. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of building custom FNAF locations. This was FNAF 4, in case you couldn't tell and you didn't read the title and you've watched this entire video. How the heck have you been here and not known that? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. This is going to be the last one of these for a little while. I am extremely burnt out in terms of content creation. These suck so much energy out of me. I do still have some videos coming out in the near future here, but none of them are going to be Minecraft FNAF related, so I'm sorry, but also not sorry. If you guys enjoyed the video, please go check out some of my other FNAF content. I do have a bunch of videos on that type of stuff. Please go check that out. And also, if you haven't already, consider subscribing. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I have a bunch of content that I think you guys would really enjoy, so please go check that out. But in the meantime, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night or whatever time it is for you. Stay safe, I love you all, and bye-bye. I told myself I wasn't gonna do another one of these. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name's Kjwippy, and welcome back to another, and honestly a quite unexpected, Five Nights at Freddy's Minecraft build. Now, a lot of people have been asking me for sister location, and I didn't want to do it, solely because the mod that I used did not have sister location in it, so I couldn't. But it updated, and now in Minecraft 1.20, we have sister location stuff, but the only problem is these guys look absolutely ridiculous. Look at you. Look at you. What do you have to say for yourself? But before I get started with this video, I do want to let you guys know that there is a link to the mod pack in the description, as there always has been. I had a lot of people ask in the other videos what the mod is. What is this mod? Is it for Java? Is it for Bedrock? There's a link in the description to the CurseForge page, as always. So please go check that out if you're interested in the mod. And no, this is not a tutorial. I'm not going to be doing a step-by-step on, oh, this is this many blocks, this is that many blocks. These have never been tutorials. It's just me building things and you guys watching it and giving me that sweet ad revenue. But in all seriousness, I hope you guys enjoy the video. And if you do, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe. And go check out some of my other stuff too if you feel like it, because I make a lot of other kinds of content that you guys will probably enjoy, I think. But I think, honestly, for this one, I'm not even going to do like a layout and then, you know, label which room is which, because the rooms here are just so different in this game. So I think I'm just gonna go with the flow and build what I can and then figure it out. So give me a moment. I think I'm gonna build the elevator first, and then I guess we'll move on from there. Okay, and here we are with the elevator getting down into the facility. Now, this is a little bit different than the actual elevator from the game, just because there aren't actually any sister location decoration things in terms of the actual mod pack here. So I'm kind of going with what I've got. So I have a rules poster there and then a Freddy poster here, but we'll soon discover Freddy ain't down here, or at least not the Freddy we know. But there's also the big red button that's on the wall there. There's a bunch of wires, and of course the fan. Now, the fan here, since this is a bigger than 1 block space, the fan obviously is not going to take up more than 1 block space. So I did what I could, and you know what? I think it looks nice. And also these lights are really nice here too. This is the illuminate fixture from the Simply Light mod that's included in the FNAF pack. And then of course you go through here, and then the vent will take you onward toward your next room, which is going to be the main, like, service room, I guess. Yeah, so let's do that. All right, so next up we have here the main, like, kind of middle room here with the shock panels. We have a bunch of different wires and stuff hanging from the ceilings, and I actually made a little trick with these TVs and item frames here. Because if you look at the original image, you'll see that there are these, like, screens with static on them. You can't quite make the static, but with these item frames and TVs, I've been able to at least recreate the screens. And then similar issue with the fans before, where it doesn't cover more than 1 block. But that's okay, because this honestly works pretty well. I think it works nice. And then instead of the baby face clock, I think it is it a clock? Hold on. It looks like a clock with baby's face on it, but there isn't one of those in the actual mod pack. So once again, using these item frames, I just put a plush head, or plush suit head, sorry. and put that in there, and that works pretty nice. And then they also didn't have the funky little head things that are here, so I just kind of put some different animatronic parts and stuff, because you know what, this is an animatronic workshop. I think that makes sense to me. But yes, we also have the shock panels here for the different auditoriums and their animatronics, and then we also have the vents to actually crawl through to get into the different areas. The problem is there isn't a way to get back yet. And this is the circus gallery, I think is what it's officially called. This is where you go in and you talk to Baby for the first time, and then you have to hide under the desk from the tiny little men that come after you. Yeah, this is that room. I'm going to be making the actual circus gallery, like stage area and stuff where Baby normally is, around this as well. So don't worry, these windows will be going out into the actual place that it needs to, so don't worry about that. But yeah, nothing too fancy going on in here. It's pretty simple. It's kind of a cramped little space, which I think works pretty well. There's a lot of different papers and stuff all over, and you know, monitors and all that stuff, just to really add to the clutteredness of the area. Though I did forget to add some wires, now that I'm thinking about it. There we go. That's better. Real quick, I have come back in here and adjusted a few things. First of all, the windows are now the tinted glass in order to keep the light from in here going out into there as easily. Also, I have added this button here, which if you press it, the show stage lights comes on, so it simulates that let's see if they're on their stage kind of thing. So I think that's kind of cool, and I can show you guys how I did that in just a moment. But yes, I've created Ballora Gallery, and obviously this is not super detailed, and that's because honestly I feel like with the simplicity of the game's detail to this room in itself, I feel like this is kind of, you know, kind of fitting. It's supposed to be super dark in here, so obviously like when it's nighttime, okay, well it's not that dark, but you get what I'm saying. And especially with like the brightness right now is set to moody, so like that light off in the distance, which is the like I think it's the power maintenance room. Yeah, no, I think it's very, very fitting for this room to really not have a whole bunch of details, just got a bunch of wires and shelves and stuff, because you know what, that's creepy looking. And then also inside here, I do have the maintenance room as well, with a panel here that right now has static on it. It's really cool because actually with Excellence Furniture mod, you can switch up, you know, you can switch up what's in there. And it's kind of cool. The different TV stuff set aside, I do have also the flashing light that you would see in this room. This is actually done using a redstone repeater clock. So basically, what it does is it's constantly sending a signal all the way around. Pretty simple stuff right there. And then of course, this redstone right here is on top of that lamp, which is powering it there. Also for the lights, it's simply just a redstone line that goes up to this piston slime block tower thing. Basically every time it's activated, it pushes this up, which this redstone block then powers the dust to power these two lights. So pretty simple, and honestly it's very, very fitting for this build. And yeah, it's also vanilla stuff, so if you're choosing to build something like this in vanilla Minecraft without mods, that's something that you can still do. Something I did forget to do was actually add this border around the stage. I feel like this helps separate it off of the actual main floor here, because you know, they gotta have their own separate space. I feel like that works there pretty well. So I've kind of made pretty much the exact same type of thing for both the circus gallery stage, which honestly I really like how this room feels. It feels very storage-y, but still has like room to display the animatronics when they need to be there. And obviously, like in the game, her lights don't exactly work, or she's not exactly there, so we can't exactly make her do her thing. So I'm not going to implement that in here as well. But there's also these hallways that go in between the stage areas. You may have noticed these doors before when I was showing off the Ballora Gallery, but this is actually just 4 hallways to different maintenance areas and stuff like that. And then this door is actually going to go into the area where the secret office is, if you get the good quote-unquote ending of Sister Location. So as you'll notice, there's another one of these hallways here. There is this door here, which is technically the secret ending office direction here. And then inside here, we have the room where we fix up Funtime Freddy at first, and then Circus Baby as well later on. And then of course there's a little wrench here, which is kind of nice. And then we actually have this conveyor belt thing that goes all the way through into the scooping room. That's right, we got the scooper here. And actually, in this mod, you can actually make stuff with it. I don't know how any of it works, and frankly, I'm too scared to ask. But yeah, so that's what this door right here ends up being, because if you remember in the actual gameplay of the game, they're like, okay, go forward, go forward, go forward, go forward, go left. So then you end up in here. But if you go right from there, then you end up in that secret room, and that's where we're going to be working on next. So we have a basic layout here of what the place is going to look like in terms of the secret area. Instead of there being another one of these rooms over here, it's actually just going to be into this hallway for the maintenance, into Baby's area, which I feel like both makes sense in terms of logic, but also would also help add to the threat of, you know, if the animatronics are wandering around in here, then they have just yet another way to come in directly from there to get to your office. So that's pretty scary. And we now have a finished secret office from Sister Location. So here we have the main room where you are kind of just trapped here until 6 a.m. We have the vent here as well, which is pretty cool. I think the way that I've done this is pretty nice, which you guys will see in just a moment. But we also have the Fredbear plushie on the desk, who, this is actually just the FNAF 1 desk, but it looks like with the way that the fan has merged with Fredbear, it looks like he's holding that little remote like you see in the actual office. So I think that's pretty cool. I also have a light behind the camera monitors here to kind of give off the light that the static gives off in the actual thing. So I think that's pretty nice. And then we also have the 2 hallways on either side here, kind of just filled with the different clutter, a bunch of different things. And I wanted to kind of pay some respect to the original location, so I had this poster set up here, kind of just to pay some respects, you know. There's this little side storage room or whatever that can sometimes that Ender can sometimes go into. As we go further down this way, you'll see that here's the curtain where Funtime Foxy normally is, I believe. He/she, I don't remember if it's actually confirmed what's what, they come out of this curtain here every now and then. I'm pretty sure. I actually have not played Sister Location, so I don't remember specifically off the top of my head. And we also have these oxygen tanks here, which are actually just a few andesite walls and some flower pots on top. But the way that I did this was I actually used the debug stick, and then which you can give yourself with the /give self debug, and then you can just hit tab and it'll automatically fill in, and then boom, you can do that. And then you can mess around with the different statuses of the blocks. And I did that in order to disconnect all of these walls and to, you know, make them separate things, and they look like oxygen tanks. So that's pretty cool. You also have this other hallway here with a bunch of random clutter as well. And then, like I said before, it leads straight into the circus gallery and then the hallway for maintenance into that. In this back area, we do also have a vent, a ladder up to the vent to get through to the main office. So if you were to do something like a role play or something where, hey, somebody's playing as the animatronic, then they can come up through that and actually, that threw me off for a second. I thought there was a face here. But yeah, if somebody were to actually want to play as the animatronics, you could totally just have them come through here, and bada bing bada boom, you're good. So without further ado, I think it's time we finally get a full tour of this place and get the animatronics in. So first off, like we saw at the beginning, this is the elevator, filled with its random clutter of different pipes and wires and all kinds of things in here. And once the doors open, we are greeted with a vent that takes us directly to the main room. Now this room is full of all sorts of different monitors and lights, the fan in the middle there, and then of course the different trinkets and stuff that are laying around and posted on the walls. We have the buttons here to activate the shocking and the lighting of the different animatronic areas. Pretty cool there, and also a poster and some stuff like that. And first things first, we're gonna go into the circus gallery, where we will be greeted with a very small and cluttered office that is used for maintenance on anything relating to Circus Baby. You know, if it has anything to do with her wiring, her programming, anything like that, that's where that's worked on, is right here. And we got a locker and a bunch of papers and stuff up all over the place, really showing the different clutter around here. And of course these 4 lights here, I wish that you could color these. Unfortunately you can't, but that's just the way that it is. So, you know, we just gotta live with it. Next up is the Ballora Gallery. That's terrifying. Oh, that's horrible. Oh, look at her go. Yes, this is the Ballora gallery where you have to crawl through and reset the power in that breaker room there. The only problem is, if she sees you, you'll die. So you gotta be nice and careful going in here, where you have this monitor here and the flashing light, where you have to reset all of the different breakers across the location. But be careful, because Mr. Giggle Man over here is, he's there, and he might get you. I don't think he can actually get over this, though. I think his hitbox is too tall. He can't even get out of there. Ha! Loser. And if we actually come into the circus gallery here, we can actually see Baby on stage. You know, if you look real hard from there. There's a bunch of different shelves and storage places for things around here as well. But mostly desolate in here. Desolate? Desolate? Is that the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Of course, we also have here the Funtime Foxy Auditorium, where you gotta use the flash beacon to get across. Don't look at me. I don't appreciate that. Anyway, yes, you have to make your way across with the flash beacon in order to fix Funtime Freddy, and then also Baby as well later on in the actual game. What happened to my banner? But yes, and then there's the conveyor belt in here as well that takes you all the way through to a separate room here, which I will not show just yet. And of course, on the final night of the game, you are supposed to exit this room here and head towards this direction, which will not show just yet. Right now, we're going to go to the opposite direction, to the secret ending, where I just showed off that we have the secret ending office and hallways and such here, where Ennard, who looks horrible, he looks terrible. Oh man. Oh, can you get down from there, please? Can you? Ah, lovely. But yes, this is where you have to fend off from him, which in this mod pack, pretty easy, because he's not even tall enough to come through the door. So you're pretty much safe in this little hole. Let's say you were to follow the advice of the animatronics. You would come in here, in front of the scooper, and your innards would no longer become innards, as Ennard would uninnard your innards. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. As always, I appreciate you guys watching the videos. Please go watch some of my other stuff, though. Like I said before, I don't want to do too many more of these, so go check out some of my other content that I'm actually very proud of. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Am I going to make the Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzaplex in Minecraft? The answer is no. No, I'm not doing that. But what I am going to do is welcome you to a new video. Whoa, what happened to my eyeballs? Yes, hello, my name is Kjwippy, and welcome to another Minecraft FNAF video. This is actually the final FNAF Minecraft video. I know that I've said that I've been kind of getting burned out of these, but I have been itching to build something as of late. And that's what I'm going to do today. So, what exactly am I going to be building in this episode? Is it going to be FNAF 6? Is it going to be Ultimate Custom Night? Is it going to be Help Wanted? No, it's not going to be any of those, because I actually want to do something completely different. I've had a lot of people say that, oh, well, he's not making custom builds, he's just making, you know, recreations of the locations from the games without actually, like, making them hit. No. They were completely custom. I made them my own, in my own way. I didn't say that they were going to be completely unique. I didn't say that they were going to be different. Look, the point is, a lot of people say that my other ones have not been custom. They were, but this one, oh, it's good. God, my chin, my thick chin. So in this video, I'm going to be making the ultimate Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Now, what does that exactly entail? So I'm thinking that we get pretty much everything from every game that we possibly can, pretty much using every single mod in this entire mod pack, which, by the way, if you want to use this mod pack for yourself, there's a link in the description to the CurseForge page. You can check that out. There's also links in the description to the other builds as well if you want to see anything that's gone on in those. Keep in mind that this is 1.19.2. There is no current version for 1.20 just yet, but I believe there should be one coming in the near future. But yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. I think I know what I'm going to do first. But real quick before we get started with the video, I did want to say that over 90% of my viewers are not subscribed, so if you haven't done that already, please consider doing so because it makes me happy. And also you guys are kind of helping me pay for college, so that's first of all really cool, but also yeah, please, if you haven't done that already, consider doing that because you're gonna like a lot more of the content that I post if you like this video. But without further ado, let's go. So this may look a little bit funky to you, and that's because, well, it is. So this area right here is actually supposed to be based off of the main entrance to the Pizzaplex from Security Breach, where it's got these two staircases that go up to a higher platform up there, leading off to more interesting areas here. There's gonna be like a couple like merchandise and gift shops, stuff like here. Maybe this will be like a registration for the different activities or stuff like that. But I want to have like a centerpiece here, either a fountain or maybe a statue like in Security Breach. I don't know. I'm not really great at making statues, so we'll see how that works out for me, I guess. But also right here we'll have a bathroom next to the main entrance, just because there's like always a bathroom somewhere near an entrance in one of these kinds of places, so I feel like that's probably not too far off from where actually that would be. So as we get up to this upper section here, we actually have this entrance into the main entertainment room, the party room. There will be tables here and stuff inside this area, but that yellow box right there, that's going to be the main stage. And also, yeah, I know I'm doing this a little bit differently than I have in the past videos, and that's because I don't want to edit all that text in there again. That takes a long time. So underneath here, which is right actually in between where the stairs are, if you head towards this direction, you'll find the daycare, the childcare area, where you can drop off your younger kids if they're not exactly ready for the bigger kid shows, kind of stuff like that. They can come in here and play around in the jungle gyms and stuff like that, just have a really good time. You know, there'll be like a check-in area, there'll be like an area where you can store your shoes and all that, stuff like that. Pretty simple stuff going on in here, nothing I haven't done already, but stuff that's wait, have I done a daycare? I don't think I've done a daycare yet, actually, now I'm thinking about it. So this will be where the daycare is. Over on this side of the building, we'll actually have the Mega Arcade. This will be where you can play all your games, you can do all the different activities and stuff, and there can be prizes. Don't know where exactly I'm gonna do the prize count. I could do it right in between here. Yeah, that'll work. That'll be a nice little prize counter there. And then we can also have a storage room back here. There could be like a couple doors that lead into like a storage room for more prizes and stuff to restock when kids have been winning way too many tickets. So back behind here is going to be where the parts and service is, or all the animatronics for this main stage are going to be hanging out. They're going to be kind of just chilling in this back area until they need to be on stage, or there will be backups, like different heads and stuff like that. You know, your classic parts and service area. Nothing super fancy going on back here. But of course, how could I make one of these without making a technician's office? Because why not? I put one in the first video and then never did anything like that ever again. I wanted to add logic, and then I actually forgot to continue adding logic throughout the series. So hey, look at that, logic's back. So over here, we have the main cafeteria area where people can actually just go and have food if that's what they choose to do. They don't want to necessarily go for a main party or anything like that. They can come in here and just have a nice meal. There are some other stages in here for some side animatronics, maybe if there's a side show that can go on, not necessarily for a party, but just for entertainment in itself. There's also the kitchen right here, which is connected to the main party room in terms of bringing out the food there, but there's actually going to be a bar here, similar to something you'd see at like Peter Piper Pizza or something like that. If I don't know if that's like a everywhere thing, but it's basically, you know, you go, you grab your own pizza slices and then it goes it down. So something similar to that probably, where you just come up, you grab some pizza and you go sit down and enjoy yourself. There's of course a cold storage room because I love my freezers, I guess. I've also added on these little side areas here above the main entrance area that have two rooms on either side. This here is going to be something of like a supply closet or like a janitorial supply room, something like that. And then this pink box here is actually going to be a boat ride. If you remember from the FNAF VR Curse of Fredbear DLC, there is a like Foxy pirate ship ride where it's kind of like the Buzz Lightyear ride from Disneyland, where like you got to shoot the targets and stuff in your little boat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna have like a little tiny boat ride that goes through, and there's gonna be a few targets spread about, and you can actually go around and shoot them. And I think that's gonna be really fun to put together for that. So yeah, that's gonna be in that box there. And then in this one over here, it's going to be something similar to the Monty's Gator Golf. There's going to be a little mini golf course in here. Don't really know how I'm going to theme it yet. Might be Monty, might not. I'm not entirely sure what even animatronics I'm going to have in here yet. So, Then I realized I didn't even have a security office for any of this yet. So I decided to put one back here with a hallway that connects this backstage area going all the way through, and I moved the stages from there, and I made it only one here, and that's going to be a separate backstage area here that kind of connects through into there, and this is going to actually give us 2 opportunities for animatronics to come after us in this main area here where we would be chilling out as a security guard. Assuming you wanted to be a security guard. You don't have to be, I guess, if you don't want to, but where's the fun in that? So that gives us 2 opportunities here for animatronics to come into the office and get us. Now the question is, how do I make this more of a threat? Because honestly, it doesn't still feel like it's as dangerous as it could be. I guess it won't have to be, but I kind of want to have something where, like, according to the lore, like, if you look at FNAF 1, like, yeah, sure, their animatronics could come from either hallway, sure. But then there's, like, Foxy, who you have to constantly keep an eye on. I need to think of someone that I can, like, I guess it could be, like, the puppet, maybe? I don't know. I'll come across that when I start building everything up, but I'm pretty sure that that is everything that I want to do with this area. So, what I'm gonna do is start just building it up room by room, and we'll see where it goes from there, I think. So I guess we'll first start off with this main entrance area and get a feel for what this place is gonna look like. Here we are with the main entrance to this ultimate pizzeria. Now, you'll notice that, like I said before, it is quite similar to the entrance of Security Breach, where, there's these 2 stairways that go up to this higher raised platform area, and there's more things to do throughout there. I actually themed this area over here towards more of like an adventure kind of daycare area, and I thought that this sign just fit perfectly right here. Now the vines are kind of overgrowing everything, and I thought shearing them would stop them from growing, but it doesn't seem like it really does that. So I might remove those. But yes, at the entrance here we have this statue with, of course, Mr. Fazbear himself on top of it. And then above the entrance is actually the Glamrock animatronics. And what I imagine with this is this will be a version of the animatronics that are vibing up here. Normally they'll be deactivated, but when the location is closing, as people are leaving, the animatronics can interact with guests and say goodbye and do all that stuff while they're heading out, to basically advertise, hey, come back later, we'll see ya. Goodbye. He looks goofy. So off to the left here we have this registration room where you can set up your parties or get your group together for just eating some regular food. You can set up events and stuff like that, register for the different attractions that we'll have in these 2 areas here. So nothing super fancy going on here. I tried to make like an ATM kind of thing here, which it kind of looks like it. I didn't realize my zoom is so big. And then off to the right here is one of the 2 prize counters in the location. The other one is up in the arcade, but this is like the big one. It's got just a bunch of different knickknacks and stuff that you can get. All these masks and plushies, and the hanging guitar here on the wall. It's Bonnie's guitar, or that's what they tell you. And then as we make our way up these stairs here, we end up getting ready to split off into our different areas throughout this location. And I think the first one I'm going to do is this main party room here, because it's just, really, is there any other way? Here we have the main party room, which features not the regular animatronics, but the Glamrocks. Now, I wanted to incorporate a whole bunch of different animatronics into this location, like I mentioned before, and so this main party room is going to feature our main updated 4 here as well. We're gonna have different rooms with different animatronics, so don't worry. I'll have Foxy in here too. Like I said, there's gonna be the Foxy boat ride or whatever thing. So don't worry your pretty little head. It's gonna be okay. But yes, inside this room, it's pretty much the exact same vibe as the last few locations that I've built, but instead of the grayish walls here, I've actually got that nice like cyan blue, which kind of really fits the theme of security breach a lot more. So I wanted to have that kind of updated feel to it, and I think that captures it perfectly. This loom's not supposed to be here because I made the banner art and forgot to get rid of it. Anyway, yes, we've got cups, we've got plates, we've got pizza boxes, cakes, all kinds of things all over the place in here. We've got these nice little the pat pats. Is that what they're actually called? Are they actually called pat pats? You know, but I don't think there's an issue. Wonder what happens, because I know that there's oh yeah, so this is gonna have the main party room vibe to it here, which I think is captured pretty well, especially with the fact that the curtain here is so much bigger, the stage is bigger and features 4 animatronics on it, and then of course the room here is full of different party decorations and such like that. And then of course we have leading into the kitchen area here, which is going to have this little area here for putting up things that people have to pick up in order, or if they, like, the servers want to come out through here and they can drop off the different stuff for different tables throughout here. There's also, I added in this space here, there's another doorway here that'll connect right into this back hallway. Just because I feel like in terms of if this was a Five Nights at Freddy's game that actually was a thing, I'm pretty sure that there would be something else there to give the animatronics more paths to get here. Maybe a vent, maybe a vent. We also have the pathway to the arcade through here, which I will be decorating in an opposite color scheme, because as you probably noticed, especially with like downstairs as well, or this area right here, it's the blue on the bottom with the purple here, and then it's the blue is the central part there, and so it kind of alternates back and forth. And this is actually based on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie trailer, where it has this color scheme for the actual building itself there. So that could be something that could be really fun going through here. But next up, I think I'm going to go ahead and work on the arcade. So let's do it. So here is the arcade, fit with its own prize corner, some vending machines for sodas and stuff like that, and a bunch of arcade machines, posters, and all that going around here as well. I'm really happy with how this room looks. Honestly, it feels like one of those kind of more spacey themed arcades with the roof here that I've done, where basically it looks like it's got a bunch of stars and stuff, like it's space, which I did also do something similar to up in this room as well. It's a little bit different just because it's not as dark as I'd like this arcade to be here. We do have one other big sign here for the from the movie here, which honestly it just fits here. Honestly, we have the ball pit here, which it used to do something, and I was really looking forward to seeing you guys see this. You know, I was really looking forward to having you guys see what this did, but it no longer does it anymore, and it kind of makes me sad. But I guess what it did was, when you would interact with it, it would take you, like in the FNAF book, into the ball pit, or into the pit, or whatever, the one with the ball pit that time travels. Basically, it would take you to an alternate quote-unquote dimension in the game that would have, like, the dude in the hospital bed and like the little like souls of the children running around and stuff. It was really interesting and kind of freaky, but yeah, I guess it doesn't do that anymore. Anywho, we also have the prize counter here, which has a bunch of stuff. You know, guys know the drill, all kinds of different things. And then in the back here is a storage room for extra prizes and stuff like that, which also leads back out into this area. This is kind of just like one of those doors that lets the delivery guys bring in more stuff for this area. And then yeah, so I think this room is pretty much complete. The bathrooms here are also complete. Once again, nothing too special in terms of what's going on in here. You know, it's a bathroom. How exciting can a bathroom get? With that, this whole chunk of the pizzeria is completed. I'm gonna save the 2 attractions for last to do in this, just because I feel like they're gonna take the most time, and I don't feel like doing those right now. So we're gonna go ahead and move our way in this direction now by making the kitchen, this extra cafeteria area, and then the back room and the halls and stuff like that. So let's get going. So, slight issue. I was continuing to build stuff, and I forgot to hit record again. I forgot. I built a lot of stuff. So let me just go outside. I'm still having a stroke. I'm still having a stroke. Oh my god. And if you'll remember, there's quite a lot more done here than you guys will remember. I only had this, and this pretty much all done. This whole chunk here. I built all of this and forgot to record again, but I'll still give you a tour because that's cool. So in this area here is where our secondary cafeteria slash dining room is, and it's also where a secondary stage is where Glamrock Bonnie and the Tiger Rock animatronic from the books is also at. And I don't know what these extra armed things are, but he's kind of freaky looking. Also, don't worry about that sound. I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, I don't know what's up with this dude. I haven't read any of the books, and I don't know what he is, but he's a glam rock character, it seems, so I put him there. But yes, this room is complete with a bunch more decorations, posters, drawings, all sorts of things, but specifically, you'll notice here that I've added in the type of booths that we see from the FNAF Movie trailer that we have been so graciously gifted by Blumhouse Productions. So you can see that there's the stained glass on the back of these booths here, and the booths themselves are colored to fit the theme of each character. You know, Monty's got his greens, Freddy's got his oranges and blues, Chica's got her pink, Roxy's got her purple and red. So everything here really fits that vibe, and honestly, I'm really happy with this room because it still feels like FNAF, but it doesn't feel like it's specifically like a party room kind of thing, which is really good. We also have the kitchen here, which just like in every other episode of the series, it's just a basic kitchen, a bunch of fridges, ovens, stoves, sinks for cleaning dishes and all that. We got a cold storage room here, and then an extra door which will lead into that back hallway that connects everything through the staff only area, which I'm not going to show you that just yet because that's next. And of course, the doors lead out into this main party room like we saw before. And then if we go past these little pat boys and into the staff only room, we'll come across the parts and service part 1. And yeah, there's no Glamrock heads or pieces. So this was, you know, I just had to resort to the old bread and butter of the old pieces. And yeah, that right there, that little particle, they drop little sparks because the wires are hanging from the ceiling and they're all cut off. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, we have an endoskeleton here that's doing his thing. Got some shelves and stuff, just with a bunch of different junk. And the technician's office is as grody as ever, covered in drawings and having racks and toolboxes of random tools and pieces and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And then as we go down this hallway here, it's kind of themed in terms of color towards the different characters, like I mentioned before. And this space right here is the security office. Whoa. I didn't know it did that. That's kind of cool. Broken ceiling lamp. I guess that makes sense of why it's broken. But yeah, this is just your basic security office. Nothing too different from what we've seen before, except I kind of wanted to make it feel like, what if this was the next FNAF game? You know, you're sitting in your office, it's dark, it's different, you know, we don't want it to be the same as every other FNAF game that we have. So maybe over here is the camera monitors, and then over here is like a different kind of monitor that you have to take care of. Maybe there's, similar to FNAF 3, there's ventilation, there's the video errors, there's the audio errors, stuff like that. Maybe there's different things you have to take care of on this monitor over here. This is just the help wanted table, but I feel like it fit really well in here. And of course there's all these random papers and stuff strewn about. But yes, and then there's also this doorway here that cuts through from the kitchen to this hallway here. So that's pretty awesome. And then as we go around this way, this is the backstage area for the Glamrock Bonnie and Tiger Rock stage as well. Just more heads and pieces of different junk scattered around here. So nothing super duper fancy here. And with that, we are left with 3 different directions to go from here. There's the daycare down below, there's the mini golf, and there's the pirate ride. And I kind of want to do the pirate ride first, just because like I've been thinking a lot about how I'm going to implement it, and honestly, like, it's just I'm excited, you know. So, buckle up. We're gonna do some pirate stuff, and actually, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be involving a lot of redstone. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes, I guess. So I've been doing a little bit of experimenting with how things are gonna work with the railing system here. So obviously, if you were to just have a minecart on a rail, it would send it through pretty fast. And with that kind of space, I don't think it would work quite that well. But you know, you can also send things through on a minecart underwater, and it is a little bit slower. You know, it's a little bit slower, but still not quite the speed that I'd like it to be. So if we were to add a comparator right here and turn that off, if we were to do that, place this back up there. That sends the minecart through super slow because it's constantly turning the powered rails on and off. So we can have it constantly moving through. This could be a bit slower of a version of it, but honestly, this could very much work. I actually really like this. So I guess we just work on implementing this all the way around here. I have started a little bit. I've also made a little bit of an area for like where the line comes up to get on the boat. And there's a little bit of a Foxy scene here where he's on like some sand in front of the night sky. Not sure how I feel about the night sky, but you know, I want it to be kind of like a dark ride kind of thing, so I feel like that would work pretty well for this. So here's a quick little update of what I've been doing, and yeah, it's quite a lot, but I've managed to make it where the track can fully go all the way around, and then sploink right into this hole here, where there's more cave space for there to be more targets. You shoot up through here, through this waterfall, and you end up right back at the beginning. Really cool stuff here, and I have tested to make sure that the minecart works, and it does. I feel really smart. Almost done. This has taken way longer than I mean it to. I would have really preferred it to not take as long, but it just is what it is. So anyway, back to the old grind, I guess. All right, and here we have the Foxy Pirate Boat Dark Ride, where you go around shooting different targets. So you come around here, wait for a boat to come along here. Don't have any running at the moment, but we can go ahead and just do that and get ready to start shooting things. Here's where Foxy would tell us, no, make sure you shoot the target kind of thing. And as you can see, there's little sounds that play, so you know if you've hit it. Come on. There we go. Yeah, this is kind of fun. Oh. Okay, down we go into this little cave. Come on. Oh no. Ah, I didn't get that one. Whoa. Okay. Don't remember it shooting me that high, but that's kind of cool. And then that's where you get off. Now, I don't remember. Does this have enough momentum to just go on its own? No. That's okay though. But yeah, no, this was honestly really fun to put together. It was very different from what I've done in any of these builds. Lots of terraforming. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with how this came out. Honestly, this feels like it would be something that you would see in one of these attractions. And actually, I'm pretty sure if you remember in the Ruin DLC for Security Breach, there actually was supposed to be a Foxy log ride or something like that. So, hey, you know what? Maybe this is a universe where something like that kind of exists. And here we have the daycare. Now this isn't a super detailed room, but that's because I'm not entirely sure what else I would have put in here. But yeah, this is the daycare. It's got the nice little play place here where you can crawl around through the tubes and go down the slide and stuff like that. And this guy keeps changing back and forth between moon and sun, and it's kind of interesting. I guess it's just dependent on the light level. I thought it was dependent on like daytime or nighttime, but I guess that makes sense as to the actual game. So you know what? Hey, he's pretty sporadic in the game, so I feel like this is pretty accurate to represent him as well. Though there is one more thing I actually wanted to add over in this corner here, so let me do that real quick. There we go. I wanted to incorporate the puppet somewhere in here as well, and I feel like this would be a good place for it because the little kids probably like getting presents and stuff, so I feel like that's probably for the best. And then he's certainly not going to do anything in the depths of the night, are you, Mr. Puppet? Yeah, I didn't think so. And so we're left with this final plot here on the left side of the pizzeria. Now, I originally was going to make this into a Monty mini golf kind of style thing, but I've decided to do a bit of a change of plans. I want you guys to build something in this plot. I've gone ahead and put this world, as well as the past worlds with the different pizzerias I've built, up for world download. If you go to the link in the description, you can find all of them right there. Go ahead and download this, and make sure you have the mod pack too. And build whatever you want in this spot here. I mean, there's plenty of space here, and you of course don't have to limit yourself to this box. You can expand it, you can go below, you can do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I want to see what you guys build here. Let me know what you want to do in the comments, and make sure you go to my Discord and post it there to show me what you build, because I'm actually really curious what you guys would build here. So I guess for now, we'll just go ahead and have this little sign here kind of blocking it off, because, you know, it's a bit of a mess behind there. And so without further ado, let's check this place out now that it's complete. So first we have this main entrance area with a lovely fountain with Mr. Fazbear himself on it. We've got a hallway here that goes off into some bathrooms. Pretty simple stuff going on in there, nothing too fancy. We have a shop/prize room here where you can get a bunch of different merchandise and such from the pizzeria. We have the registration room over here with an ATM where you can get out all of your, your cash or whatever that you need to register for parties, for the boat ride, for all different sorts of activities here at the pizzeria. And of course, through this middle section here behind the fountain, we have the daycare, which is complete with a play place, a little model here that kids can play on, and then of course some lockers to store some stuff for the kids, chairs for parents to wait if they need to, and of course our lovely animatronic friends. As we come back out, you'll notice that there are these Glamrock animatronics up on the wall here, and that is mainly for when guests are leaving. The animatronics can interact with them one last time, asking them once again to come back, to enjoy their time away, and to hurry back soon. As we go up these stairs here, you'll see that it splits off into many different directions, and the first direction here will be this middle section, the party room. This is where all of the main parties happen, where our Glamrock animatronics entertain kids for their birthdays, for all different sorts of celebrations, and honestly, I love the vibe of this room. It feels party, you know? We have the kitchen, which is complete with all sorts of different technology and such to cook up the greatest pizzas ever known to man, with a cold storage room and then access to a separate hallway through this door here, and of course a bar to serve for the regular customers that come through into the cafeteria, who aren't necessarily here for a party, but still want to get some good food. They can come on in here, sit down in these booths, which are themed after the ones seen in the Five Nights at Freddy's movie trailers, and they can come in here, enjoy just some more peaceful eating and such like that. Or if they want to check out one of the other shows, Glamrock Bonnie and Tiger Rock are here inside this room as well. Off to the right from the party room is the arcade, and this is the ultimate game experience for anyone coming to Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. There's all sorts of different arcade games, there's vending machines, there's another prize counter with even more variety of stuff for kids to get with their hard-earned tickets from the arcade machines. And back in here is yet another set of bathrooms, completely filled with stalls, sinks, trash cans, and the little pad boys. In the back of the party room, we have here the parts and service with charging stations for each of the Glamrock animatronics, as well as a bunch of spare parts. Back here is the technician's office, where he can work on different projects and such in here, kind of out of the mainstream workshop room. And if we go down this hallway here that connects both backstage rooms, you'll see in the middle we have the security office, which is set up with our standard camera monitors, ventilation, and like technical error screens and such here, and then of course our doors and lights to let us protect ourselves from any roaming animatronics, and also to allow us to see in the dark of night. As we continue down this hallway, you will come across the other backstage room behind Glamrock Bonnie and Tiger Rock, where there are simply more parts and pieces for the different animatronics to repair them with. If we head back out to the main entrance area, there's this door over here that enters into the storage room for the prize counter upstairs, which just has more merchandise and stuff in case they run out up front. And then out further on down this way, there's this door, which is more of like a janitor closet. There's a mop bucket here with a mop sticking out, or, you know, at least we could pretend that is. So another pat, kind of just symbolizing this is kind of where they're stored, and a bunch of junk and stuff laying around everywhere. And then inside here we have the Foxy's Pirate Boat Adventure, where you go through and you shoot various different targets, stuff like that, to kind of just get yourself some points, get a whole bunch of fun experiences here at the pizzeria by doing this. And honestly, I'm very proud of how this one came out. Just it feels so fun. It feels adventurous, and I love it. And then finally, across the way here, there is the open plot where you guys can build whatever you feel like building. So once again, check out the link in the description. Make sure you go ahead and check out the world download, and show me what you guys build. Join my Discord, post it in there, because it's cool. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this final Five Nights at Freddy's Minecraft build. I had a lot of fun putting this one together. It was a nice refresher, honestly. Like it was refreshing from doing the same thing over and over with the other ones to doing something completely new. I love this. This was so much fun to put together, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. If you guys have any suggestions for what could have been put in different areas, go ahead and leave that down in the comments as well. And also make sure you subscribe, because it makes me happy. Nah, but in all seriousness, I do want to say thank you so much for the huge support with these videos. You guys are absolutely insane when it comes to getting everything viewed and subscribed and all that. Like, you guys blew up my channel with this series. So thank you so much for all of your guys' support. If you guys want to check out more Five Nights at Freddy's content, there's a link in the description to my Five Nights at Freddy's playlist, which has a whole bunch of different videos of me playing different FNAF games and reacting to different things, all kinds of stuff. And so until the next video, I hope you all stay safe. I love you all, and I will see you later. Bye! Warning, this video contains major spoilers for the FNAF movie. Watch at your own risk. Just like William Afton himself, I always come back. A little while back, I made the ultimate Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria in Minecraft, and I told you that was it. I'm not doing any more. I don't feel like it. And I lied to you. At the time of recording this video, it's been about a day and a half since I watched the FNAF movie, and I am in love. It was amazing, and I loved every piece of it. I don't care how corny some pieces were. I don't care. I don't. It was great. And in order to celebrate it, and also to appease some of the comments from some of the other builds that you guys have left, because you guys have also wanted to see this in actually vast quantities, I'm going to be making a custom Five Nights at Freddy's movie pizzeria in Minecraft. Honestly, I think this is going to be a really interesting one for me to make, because we don't really know the layout at all. But with the help of a Minecraft 1.20 bedrock map that was made by someone named Koft, there is a very cool FNAF movie map that is based off of the FNAF movie trailers, and is a pretty rough but honestly seemingly accurate layout of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie pizzeria. So I'm going to be using that as a bit of a rough reference for what I'm going to be making today, but I am going to be adjusting some things. I did notice that since it's based off of the trailers, there are some pieces that, like, as I was going through it, in the movie it's much different. So there are going to be some adjustments being made, but honestly, I'm super excited, because this is going to be a different kind of thing, and it's still going to allow me to have some creative freedom with it, because, you know, it's just a theory. So you guys know the drill. I'm gonna hop into a layout, and then, yeah, we'll see what happens. But before I get around to any of that, I do want to let you guys know that if you want to make something like this for yourself, there is a link in the description to the CurseForge mod pack called Tony's FNAF Pack. You can check it out in the description. There's also links to the other mods that I've put in here as well. Some of them are just more furniture or simple things that add a little bit more to this world. So if you want to do this for yourself, go down there and go ahead and check that out as well. There's also going to be a world download for this in the description as well, right below those. So make sure, if you want to check this out for yourself, go to the link there and download it for yourself and check it out. I also want to take this moment to quick ask you guys, if you haven't already, to please consider liking and subscribing. I'm trying to hit 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so we'll see if that actually happens or not, but that would be much appreciated if you did that. Anyway, let's get back into it. Alrighty, I think this is about the best I'm gonna be able to get this to be. This looks really, really weird, but let me just explain what all is going on here. First of all, this kind of looks like a bunny head. Like, you know, there's the ear there, there's the ear there, and then you can see it like it kind of curves around there. Almost looks like the glitch trap suit dude. Freaky, huh? But yes, up at the top there is the lobby, that purple section there, and that is basically where you walk in and you see that big archway that lights up that leads into the main entertainment room, which is the pink blob in the middle here. And you'll see that there's those two yellow squares. Those are where the stages are, Foxy's Cove and the main stage respectively. We also have the orange square, which is the prize counter. And then we also have that kind of diagonal, like, magenta piece there that goes in there as well. And that's actually that kind of diagonal area with the arcade and the ball pit. So that's going to be interesting to figure out, I think. Towards the right there, we have the blue hallway, which leads to the security office. And then connecting to that is like that little extra storage room, which has the different supplies for the prize corner and stuff like that. And then also in that area is the kitchen, which is the brown section at the bottom right there. And then leading out from the bottom of that is this green tunnel, which these green tunnels are actually going to be what are like connecting up all the like separate like employee only areas. So right there in that big space at the bottom right is the warehouse door that you see Hank and Max and her brother and everybody break in through. So those will be the double doors leading into the kitchen that he kicks in, etc., blah, blah, blah. You'll see that that leads towards also the main area, and then another set of tunnels, which the other set of tunnels is where we see Hank run away from seeing Carl getting munched. And that's the little supply closet that he got by Bonnie in. And as we follow that along further, you'll see this dark blue section in the left there, and that is going to be the kind of parts and service or like workshop room. And this is where we see the extra suits and where we see Chica trying to stuff Abby into the weird spring lock, like off-brand circus baby, or I guess people are saying it's like Ella from the FNAF books. I guess there's a doll that looks exactly like that. Freaky. But yeah, that's gonna be that room. There's also gonna be another warehouse door in there, I think, just to be kind of logical about it, because I feel like how would they get all the parts all the way from the warehouse door at the bottom right there? It just wouldn't make sense. So then following along that tunnel again, there's actually going to be a chain link fence, quote unquote, so I can be made out of like iron bars or something, but that's going to be separating that off, and that's going to be what we see at the beginning of the movie with the first security guard who gets trapped behind that and eventually gets got by Foxy. That's going to be separating that off, and then following that tunnel and that little blue square up at the top, that is going to be where technically from the vents that the first security guard emerged from and then ran away in that area up there. So this is a very, very, very custom layout. I don't think that this is going to be super accurate to the movie, but it's to the best of my understanding of where things are. I also forgot to mention that the green square up at the top there is the bathrooms, just because there aren't anywhere else, so I thought I'd put them there. So now it's time for, you guessed it, building up all the different areas and getting this bad boy started. So I think I'm just gonna hop into it, and yeah, I'll see you guys in a second. And here we are with a fully walled and roofed interior of the building. Now obviously some things are a little bit different from the movie themselves, like this little alcove here. I think it's a bit bigger than what we saw in the movie, but you know, that's a minor detail. But you know, this whole area here I feel like is pretty accurate to what the movie is. Obviously I need to get the tables and stuff set up in here, but that's going to be part of the next phase of creation. But we have the stage set up, and I already went ahead and put in the animatronics just to make sure that the stages were tall enough, and they are. And honestly, they look really good, like with this little border across the top. It feels like it's a complete and like centered attraction to the actual place. So that's really cool. We also have the ball pit area and the arcade. Don't know what I'm going to use for the actual ball pit just yet, but I'll figure it out, honestly. You may also notice that I've used some vertical slabs. That's part of one of the mods that is in the mod pack here. It is called Quark, and it features a bunch of vertical slabs that you can use for extra detailing in your builds. And honestly, I don't know why vertical slabs aren't just a regular vanilla thing, because these are so useful. Like, look at this. I wouldn't have this barrier to the curtains here if these didn't exist. Like, I don't understand why they're not already a thing. But, you know, that's Mojang. You notice also in these maintenance or service tunnels that there are these hanging lamps that kind of flicker on and off. And there is this quote-unquote chain link fence where the first security guard kind of gets got. So I thought that was a nice detail to have there. And then there's also the storage room here, which I'm also making the same storage room as where, in the beginning, where he comes out of the vent, and then also from later on where they discover the first spring lock, like, doll suit, which, that thing was creepy. Did anybody else think that thing was, like, eerily creepy compared to everything else? We also have the setups for the bathrooms here, and honestly, the vertical slabs make these a lot more interesting to walk through. You know, it's like an actual, like, sectioned off piece of the area, so that's really cool. We also have the prize counter, which is also featuring the vertical slabs as the actual counter itself. A little storage area for all this stuff back there. And then, of course, there's the security room, which I went ahead and also put in the breaker box, which I feel like is kind of clever. Obviously, I wish it was a red light coming out of that, but, you know, it is what it is. And then, of course, the other exit as well. And the kitchen is all set up in here with its lighting. And I think the lighting in here is perfect, if I'm going to be completely honest. There is so much happening in terms of the actual decoration of the place, or at least there will be. So having the lack of lighting, I feel like, will add to that kind of mystery of the place. And it doesn't feel like it's too harsh at all. Like, especially in these hallways, they feel eerie and And of course, there's also the parts and service area, which I don't like that the doors don't block out the light. I wish they would, because that's kind of frustrating. But I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and start decorating some of this place up. So, here we go. And here we are with the main party room all decorated and set up. Now, I'm honestly really happy with how this has turned out, and obviously this isn't as decorated nearly as much as the other locations that I've done, but that's because I want this to feel like it's abandoned. There's not really much going on here, and I think it has been pulled off pretty well. So we've got a range of different things like tables, booths, party supplies, plates, cups, all that kind of stuff on these tables, and it looks pretty much like it's been kind of just left behind, which is exactly what I was going for. So that's really awesome. But we also got different signs and decorations and things hanging from the ceiling. And of course, the drawing wall, we have the funny yellow bunny featured in the middle of all of the other drawings here. And I think this is a really nice detail that I used here, because this is one of the old Fredbear posters. And, you know, it's just a nice reference to the actual film. So that's pretty cool. I also have little machines here that are for your tokens for playing the arcade machines, and then also the ticket counter as well over by the prize counter, which this is actually pretty accurate to the movie, because there's this big, like, vent shaft that goes across the top here. So definitely something that I'm really happy with as well, because there's these little vent blocks and stuff that they have in this mod, so that's really cool. And as per usual, we also have all of the different plushies and stuff at the prize counter. Nothing super new here, because, you know, it's about the same as everything else we've done. So, you know, I'm pretty happy with it though. And the vertical slabs definitely help with, like, framing it, so that's really cool. I went ahead and also did the bathrooms as well, and there's nothing really super special going on in here. You know, just your usual bathroom stalls, and then also your kitchen sink and all that stuff, as well as the trash can, which actually I didn't realize that you can actually throw stuff in there and destroy it. That's pretty cool. We also have little gumball machines, which are nice because, you know, gum, it's good. And then of course the arcade area as well. I did not put in the ladder to the slide because it just didn't seem like there was enough room, so I didn't include that. But if you want to add it when you download this world, because I know that you're going to want to download it, you can definitely add that as well for yourself. But I do have all of these arcade machines here, as well as the ball pit. And now this is actually a really fun block here, because if you it makes little squink squonks, which is fun. But also, you actually, like, sink into it, so you can actually hide inside blocks, which is really cool. So we also have the kitchen as well, which is complete with a bunch of stoves and ovens for cooking up all of the different things at the pizzeria, as well as a lot of pizza boxes, which are kind of just scattered around everywhere. And this is kind of nodding towards in the movie how you see pretty much like all over the kitchen there's just stacks of these boxes. And this is actually the area with the fan where you see behind Carl, you see Chica go past the fan there throughout that hallway, which you can actually come through here and see that the fan is there as well. Unfortunately, you can't look through it, and it's also 4 separate blocks instead of being one big one, but that's what was in the mod, so it is what it is, I guess. We also have here these couple fridges, which are where Carl is looking for the cupcake, or I guess he's looking for whatever's inside it, and then he turns around and sees there's Chica, and there's the cupcake, and then he doesn't have a face anymore. Yeah, this is the kitchen, and honestly, I'm really happy with it, especially with these vents that let all of the smoke and stuff out toward the roof. It's just a very nicely detailed kitchen with, honestly, minimal detail that still fits. So next up we have the security office, and honestly this is probably one of my favorites so far just because of how much is going on in such a small space. So as you can see, we have the iconic classic desk and chair. We got the phone there as well as the poster on the wall. We also have his Nebraska poster as well on the wall, which is just a regular Minecraft painting, but it still gives off that same vibe. We also have behind here this little table that we see Vanessa and Mike sit at when they first meet. And also we have the lockers, which unfortunately we can't necessarily open them physically, but there is a bit of a surprise if I open up the bottom section here. If I go inside the bottom here, you'll see that there's a little balloon boy inside here, which is kind of just alluding to the little balloon boy jump scares that we would see in the movie. There's also this Bonnie plush as well, as if you take a quick look at the lockers in the office, you'll see that there's a tiny little Bonnie plushie up top. We also have here the power generator, which is unfortunately not hooked up to anything at the moment, but there's also the red security light as well up the top, kind of just like that's always on, as that like even if the power is out, this is always going to be on. So it's a nice little detail. We also have the hallway leading up to the office, as well as the back exit here with the employee of the month wall, which you'll notice there might be a couple familiar heads on here as well, which you know, just saying, I'm a pretty good employee. But also just a bunch of wires and stuff hanging from the ceiling, as well as a little vending machine here, because I feel like, you know, this is kind of the back area, the kind of not necessarily break room, but you know, it's towards an area where employees can kind of chill out and get their stuff. So I feel like a vending machine isn't super far out of reach back here. So after the security office, I decided to do the storage rooms on the sides of the hallways and such. So this is the one where Vanessa and Mike were looking for the tablecloths, and then where eventually they learned about the spring lock suits. And instead of having the weird doll thing, this is where this guy is. And this is because I believe this is the same room at the end of the movie where they have dragged Mr. Afton to rot in his spring-locked cell. I'm pretty sure it was the storage room. I could be wrong, but that's what it looked like in the movie, so that's where I assumed that he is now. If I'm wrong, don't tell me in the comments, because I don't like knowing when I'm wrong. But yeah, this is mainly just a bunch of cardboard boxes and stuff strewn about everywhere, some extra chairs and tables and stuff like that, because, you know, it never hurts to have extras in your restaurant. Similarly, there's also this kind of corner storage room as well, and this is where Hank gets just absolutely destroyed by Bonnie. And yeah, nothing too fancy going on here. Once again, it's just a very simple room filled with shelves and cardboard boxes and stuff, and then plenty of room for Bonnie to stand in the corner and be an absolute creep. Finally, we have the parts and service area, where we also have the Torture Freddy mask and the chair, where both the old security guard and then also Mike get stuck. And only one of them survives. Can you guess who? Yes, we also have a couple of the Wizards in here as well, and this is to represent the extra suits that the looters were stuffed in after they were killed in the restaurant. So obviously, you know, we don't have Sparky the dog or Shadow Freddy or whatever the heck they actually are. Someone said that the one that Max was stuffed in was Mr. Hippo, and I'm just like, I hope that's true, because I love Mr. Hippo, he's great. But yeah, you know, it's your typical kind of parts and service. There's a bunch of tools and workbenches and stuff like that, and a bunch of random things laying around, and extra endoskeletons and parts and such like that. But I think this is pretty good for what it's worth, and also I think just having this centerpiece of the Freddy head is just really cool. Obviously, it's not attached, but, you know, we're not going to talk about that part. Side note, I did also replace the spring trap with an actual spring Bonnie, because I didn't realize that this is a thing, but it's really cool that it is. Look at you looking at me. Big old eyes. So yeah, I replaced that with that because it's not exactly spring trap that gets stuck in here, it's spring Bonnie. So this is this is way better. And finally, I wanted to leave this part for the very last because I just find it very funny. But this little area, there's, you know, not really much known of what actually is over here. So I've decided to make this a spot for Balloon Boy because he has such an annoying presence in this movie and he's kind of just the lingering joke throughout it. I figured I'd give him his own little spot in this little area here. So I think that's perfect right there. And with that, I'm pretty sure the interior to this place is completely finished. Now, obviously, nothing is like 100% accurate to the movie, as there are definitely things that can be adjusted, but honestly, I'm super happy with how this has turned out. This has been an amazing project, and I think all that I have left to do now is make a facade for the front, because right now it's just a weird random shape of a building. So I'm gonna make a little facade and make it look all pretty from the front, and not do a full building because I don't wanna. So let's go ahead and go out and do that, and give me just a moment and we'll see how it looks. And so here we are with the outside of Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Now, I did make a bit of an extension off the side here from what we actually see in the movie, because about this chunk here, right here, that's about where it cuts off. It's just this much that we see. So I had to extend it a little bit in order to cover up the extra like service tunnel and stuff like that. But I think it looks good. But yeah, this was honestly very fun to put together. I had a blast making this, and it was nice to kind of hop back into it after a little while of not doing anything like this. Now, this is going to be my last one. I swear to God, like, I'm not making any more of these. I'm done. These are done. But seeing this come to fruition was really cool, and especially after just seeing the movie, like, this is really cool. And being able to have this now in Minecraft is such a really cool thing to see. Now, I did go around and add a few more details as well, like I added some of the extra wall sconces, and I also reduced the size of the archway. It used to be 4 wide, now it's 3, in order to center the entrance and make room for the sign outside to actually be centered. So, made a bit of an adjustment, but you know, that's the beauty of these kinds of things, is you can just adjust them as you go along. So that is going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and like I said, thank you so much for being part of this series. Like, you guys have been really fun to see, like, your guys' reactions to the different builds that I've done and all that. Unfortunately, I made the joke about how I always come back, but like this is it. I'm done with these. I'm moving on to bigger and better things, baby. But if you did enjoy, please consider leaving a like, and if you really enjoyed, consider subscribing. And if you haven't watched the other videos in this series, there's a link in the description to the playlist that has all of them in there, so go check those out as well. And yeah, I hope you guys all stay safe. I love you all, and until the next video, I will see you later. Bye. Well, that concludes our lovely compilation of every FNAF Minecraft build that I've made. I hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, I appreciate all of you guys' support with the series. The first video of this series is what made my channel grow to what it is now. So I have to say thank you. And also thank you officially for 9,000 subscribers. It's crazy to see that we've gotten to that point, and I'm excited to see where we go from here. So remember, trying to hit 10K by the end of the year. We're really close to the end of the year, but we're also really close to 10K. So I feel like it can be done. So do me a favor, share this video with your friends, do all that stuff. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. So until then, stay safe. I love you all, and bye-bye.